Today is not a good day to be a pussy.
My name is Jeff.
Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, G.M.P.C, and with me tonight is the Bombay bad boy himself, Big Red Nick Utown.
Glad to be here on this wonderful Thursday night. If it looks like I'm in a hotel room, it's because I am.
I love that no matter where you are in the world, you're always here for WCBS, yet Dion's at home washing his tights.
Well, he's really got to get in there and wash them, correctly, because I guess, he's the only one who can wash them, so he's got to wash them his own way.
Well, he shit himself, so that's why. We're a minute in, we can cuss like that.
Oh, well, whatever.
So, folks, welcome into episode 462 of World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. As you know, I'm your host, Jeff, and tonight we have a fun show planned for you. Beyond some of the big topics, we're bringing you a game. Now, the other bullshitters will be here in a little bit. Kendo is a coach. He's taking care of his coaching business. And Dion, like we said, he's washing his tights. But tonight we have a game. How well do we really know each other? What's on the line? Dignity, respect, a gift card, and a whole lot more. But before we get into that, folks, there are a lot of you here. Hit that thumbs up button. And if you're listening on another platform besides YouTube, hit share. It helps us out big time. But we're going to get into all sorts of stuff tonight. But look where we're broadcasting from, Nick. We're in historic Hill Valley.
Yeah, I like. As soon as it popped up, and I was in the little the waiting room or whatever. I was just like, that's awesome that you did that.
Yeah, I got us all kinds of places. We can jump in our DeLorean. We can go to Hill Valley. We could go out into the middle of nowhere under the stars. Hell, we could even get scientific with it and enter the Matrix if we really wanted to. We can go anywhere.
For a second I thought that was Event Horizon. I was just like, where are we going? Are we going to hell?
Snowpiercer's pretty close to hell, so we can go to Snowpiercer if we want.
Yeah, that's true.
We also have this place on Bespin, but that's for a Tuesday show. We'll go back to Hill Valley. I'm feeling Back to the Future. Folks, we have new buttons tonight. One of them is a $10 button. So, Nick, since we have a word of the day, do you think we should count that one? Or should we wait till another one rolls in?
Let's wait till another one rolls in. Let's make them work for it a little bit.
I want the other guys to see it because it's a long one.
Okay.
So, Georgian, when Kendo gets here, we will ask him your question right away. But Shrebbles08 brings us the word of the day, and that word is bagel. Space Bagel Balls. That's a lot of food. Space Bagel Balls 2, the quest for more cream cheese. Hot Bagel Time Machine. Bagel Horizon. Top Bagel. Fistful of Bagels. 12 Angry Bagels. And Bagel Wars. Oh, now it's 9 and 9 at night, and now I'm hungry for a bagel. I got it.
Yeah, while I'm on the show, I'm actually trying to get DoorDash delivered to my room right now.
Get Papa John's. Eat 2 large pizzas on air.
I might do that. Who knows?
If you eat 2 large pizzas on air, I'll order a large pizza and eat 1 on air. Can't have you one up me that much. It's 2 up in me.
I don't think I could fit 2 large pizzas into my body right now.
The trick is to not eat the crust. Just eat. You can eat 2 pizzas worth of cheese, though. I know you can.
That's true. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah. We did eat our weight and everything in Atlanta and during that Dragon Con weekend. It was we did a lot of fine dining.
It was fine indeed. Today when I was working on the video that just dropped, folks, go watch it after the show. I needed some stock footage of a buffet, and I thought, man, that buffet we went to in Atlanta was just too damn good.
It was something. I showed my niece that video, and she's like, I need to go. I'm like, well, come on up, and I'll take you. So, yeah.
Now let's get back to some breakfast titles here. We have the Bagel Club. That'll be one I give. Let's see. There also is Live Free or Bagel Hard.
Super Bagel.
Bagel on the River Kwai.
Slum Bagel Millionaire. I'm trying here. Let's see. Nope, we're not doing those. Child, I got a lot of shit. Bagel and Prejudice. Bagel and Prejudice. There you go.
There we go. I like Prejudice and I like bagels equally. Let's see. On Her Majesty's Secret Bagel.
Crouching Bagel, Hidden Dragon. Or crouching tiger, hidden bagel, depending on how you want to do that.
There you go. I like a hidden bagel. Keep one right here in the coat pocket. Bagel balls, like instead of Thunderball. There we go. The man with the golden bagel. And Bagel Cop.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Bagel.
So let's see what the audience brings us. We have Legally Bagel, Golden Bagel, Bagel versus Cereal. I'm going to go... I like bagels and cereal. That's a hard one.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
A good bagel's great, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch is forever.
Oh, it is. Oh, my God.
Close Encounters of the Bagel Kind. I like that one. Sander Hammerslag. The Bagel Brothers. Teenage Mutant Bagel Turtles. The Secret of the Cream Cheese. That's a good one. That's a twofer. Folks, if you go the extra mile with your titles for Word of the Day, we will always share you here on the channel. There's also Man on Bagel, Bagel on Fire, Bagel in New Delhi.
New Delhi. Oh, God.
A curry bagel. The big bagel.
That's something Atlanta doesn't have, an Indian bagel shop, but I don't think that would go over very well.
Come on, he doesn't want a non-bagel.
It would just be like a folded naan with like cream cheese in the middle of it. So that's all.
You'll have to boil it first and then bake it. Get that crust on it. I like a good bagel, but we didn't have good bagels out west or here. All right, Bagelheimer. That's a good one there, Sander.
Bagelheimer.
Bagelheimer Schmidt. Shrubbles08, thank you with your other super chat. It says Bagel Boy in Bagel Twins. How about Bagel Powers Activate, form of cream cheese? There you
go. Form of smoked salmon.
Ooh, I do like a good lox bagel. Speaking of lox, we got Lock, Stock, and 2 Smoking Bagels. 12 years of bagel. Ready to bagel. Blazing Bagels. Ooh, all right. I like them all. Folks, you can send in your bagel titles all night long. Hopefully, Nick is currently ordering a bagel on Uber Eats. This show is not sponsored by Uber Eats yet, but when it is, for that late night hunger, you can.
I don't know. I'm trying. Right now I'm looking at what's open and what's able to deliver to me right now. So we'll figure that out.
Is the restaurant Big Bagel in Little Israel open? Because our friend Michael in the chat came up with that title.
Somebody needs. Oh, you know what? We need to save that for Briarville.
Oh, Big Bagel in Little Israel?
Yeah, why not?
All right. I was like, if you want to do Big Bagel in Little China, that works for me because we can have a little Chinatown district. Like, you know how every movie has a Chinatown scene? We can have our Chinatown district at Briarville.
There you go.
Telgor, what is up? Telgor says, Bagel Cheese and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Some people call bagels plain, but no matter how bland and boring your bagel is, it's still more exciting than Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I forgot I watched that movie. I don't think about any of those. Except yesterday when Marvel Zombies popped up on my TV, I went, no, I don't have time for that anymore.
I mean, I think everybody forgot they watched that movie. I mean, so.
Electric Bagaloo. Oh my god, that's a good one too. Wait up. Bacon 2 Electric Bagaloo. That's the official title. Thank you, Sander. That was a twofer. All right, folks. So keep sending in your titles. We are waiting for the other bullshitters so we can play our game and our other topics for the evening. But Nick, let's talk about one that you brought to our attention earlier this week. You and I love entertainment. We make it ourselves. We're going to be making some new stuff in the future. But right now, the way that people consume entertainment the most is probably on streaming. And we have some news. It looks like, folks, Disney Plus is going to be going up again in price, luckily on my birthday. So you could all blame me that this October 21st, Disney is ripping you off if you actually pay for this. But Nick, my real question is, how much is too much? Now, I know you don't pay for Disney Plus, but let's say all streaming reached a certain point. What is the line where you would cut it and not pay for a single one?
When they all reach about $20 or more a month, I think I would have to start figuring out which ones I want and which ones I don't. And luckily now, right now you're able to sign on for a month and cancel and kind of, cycle through them fairly easily. But I think they're going to stop that soon because I think they're going to start becoming like cell phone subscriptions where you're gonna have to commit for a really small price, like a really good price for like a year or two, and then it'll be like, oh, it'll be this much a month, or it'll be this much for a flat 2 years. But I mean, as you came over to my place and you saw, like, I built my own like server, and like we were watching like a lot of shit on there, along with our Italian beaver pictures on Tubi.
Yeah,
So
nothing but world class here, folks. Nothing.
yeah, of course. But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, even when I was home for those 2 weeks, I went through my Blu-ray collection and I was ripping things off and putting them on there. And it's just one of those things where it's like I feel like people are going to start looking for that more and more because these companies are gouging everything. Even if you look at, I think it's Google Analytics or Google Trends, whatever, you can see the word piracy and torrents and things like that start to tick up again. So it's happening. People are getting really tired of those things. And I remember even a few years ago, before BC, before COVID, there were people already looking to make these systems and to build these giant servers so they could have their own movies and things like that. So I mean, it's been happening for a while, but I think it's going to ramp up a lot more. And it's just going to be one of those things where people start to acquire their movies by different means and different ways, and try to make their own own stuff at home, because it's just easier that way, man. It's just more cost effective, and it takes a little bit of tinkering, and got to watch a couple of YouTube videos and probably take a weekend to do it, but it'll get done.
I was watching a YouTube video on piracy this week about the uptick in it, and I thought to myself, oh, if I could just go to this website and the movie starts playing, why the fuck am I paying for any of this stuff? I feel like I've paid enough of my lifetime for entertainment.
No, and that's the thing, is like, they kind of, that was their whole thing, is like, oh, we can give you this library. Netflix had a good idea where like you had all this stuff and you're able to access it wherever you want to, whenever. But the thing is that, like, they and other companies have been dwindling down, and kind of like doing ads and things like that, and started doing stuff we don't like, and they're charging more and more for it. And it's just like, it's diminishing returns. So people, I think, are getting tired of it, and they're going to start asking their friends who are technically inclined, like, oh, how do I get rid of this? How do I cut the cord entirely, not have to worry about cable or streaming, and how do I just get my own stuff?
Yeah, I'm just gonna call you, Nick. You're that friend for me.
Yeah, if I gotta spend a week up by you and build the whole thing. Oh no, it's a week. We get to hang out. Who cares? I have to build your whole system for you. It's not gonna
Just wait till you have to build out Briarville. You're gonna be like, oh no, I have to do something I actually enjoy for a long period of time to invest in something big.
Oh no, I have to set up the private internet for the entire town and make like 4 TV stations that only play old 90s and early 2000s TV shows, movies, and commercials. Oh, what was me?
We should just get a feed of old MTV from
the
80s, like from when it launched till about, like, I don't know, maybe like 1998. Like, so Daria's on there, but so is Beavis and Butthead still.
Yeah, why not?
We just don't play Backstreet Boys videos, folks. We just can't. It's against our religion.
Sure, we can say that, or other things.
Yeah. So, Nick, I think we'll move on. It looks like Disney Plus, though, a lot of people in the press are saying it's at a terrible time to announce an upcharge because of the Jimmy Kimmel stuff, which, what the hell's going on? He's back, he's not back, he's in some markets, he's not. I just don't care anymore. Like, we covered it last week, and I'm done.
From what I hear, because of Nexstar, the other company that kind of like runs the whole thing, is like, he's not just live on everything. He's only live on a few stations, and I think the Nexstar stations he's not live on. They've like just said, no, we're only going to show the news. And also from what I hear is that they're not renewing his contract for the next season of his show. So as far as I know, he's like, this is his last season and that's it. So, but I'm with you. You said it a lot. You said a lot of the show. Late Night's been dead for a while, and this needs to die. And even if when you look at these guys' numbers, they're all just like dwindling down, and they've been down, to almost nothing. And if these companies are this hard up for money, they would cut that, because that's I know it's not a big chunk, but it's money that they can definitely save and put somewhere else to gouge us for more.
Well, the one thing I hated about his show, beyond any political stuff that people might infer, is it was just a big commercial for Disney. It always came off as disingenuous. It's like, Star Wars is coming out. We interview the people on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. A Marvel movie. Let's get them to say the same fucking stories over and over again. It just was always fake. I never liked Leno. I never really liked Letterman because I didn't watch him. But I was a Conan O'Brien kid, and I also liked Craig Ferguson, and even before that, I liked Craig Kilborn. Those were the late night shows. God. I like them weird and kitschy and out there. Not, hey, like when I was born, Johnny Carson was on his way out. I mean, Johnny Carson quit when I was like 3 years old. So I don't have that affinity for that type of, monologue, this shit. Like, it's of a bygone era. There was a way to evolve it. I don't think Jimmy Kimmel's it. I guess Jimmy Fallon is more relevant to a younger audience, but I don't watch him.
No, that's true. But I think the thing is that those late night shows were pretty much put there to give us these tiny windows into these actors' lives and what they do, and it was like, I think even back then it was sometimes they would promote things, sometimes they wouldn't. They would just like be on. Now, especially now, it's more of just this new movie's coming out. Let's have this actor go on this late night show, which nobody watches, or they'll watch, in a couple of days on Hulu or on their DVR or whatever it is. And it's like incredibly irrelevant. It's just irrelevant now because you have access to these celebrities all the time. They usually have Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook accounts, or even YouTube accounts as well. They have some sort of social media where they're always posting, always giving their shitty opinions to the world, which nobody asked for. And because of that, we don't need the late night thing because they can just make a reel or have some famous influencer help them make a reel, and then they double dip, and everybody tries to everybody pays attention for a minute and watches their stuff. So, yeah, I think the influencer economy has taken over the late night show stuff with the celebrities.
It's weird too because my mom watches Dancing with the Stars, and I'll pop over and see her, and they're like, TikTok star so and so. I'm like, what the fuck does a TikTok star do on a dancing show? They suck anyway, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just, it's funny because they're trying to get the Gen Zers and the Gen Alpha to come over to the millennial side of like TV and watch Dancing with the Stars, but like they don't care. I don't care
about those people.
Yeah, we don't care about the TikToks, and they don't care about the. I
don't even know who the hell Sabrina Carpenter is, dude. Like, I know what she looks like. If I saw a picture, I'd be like, I know who that is. I don't know a single song she sings. You can tell me she came up with the national anthem to Canada, and I'd believe it.
Yeah, she's just a very short little white girl. Like, that's about it.
Not a bad thing, but
Yeah, she's very tiny. You could probably step on her, Jeff. That's how small she is.
I want to pick her up in the palm of my hand and just throw her over the border.
You could probably do that.
Just carry her around on my arm like Andre the Giant.
You probably could because I think she's at the height where she's not a midget, but she's almost there.
Every time I see someone that's that small, like, it takes me back because I'm just like, wow, like, how does your body function on a micro scale? Because they probably look at me like, how did blah blah blah, and I'm just like, so tiny. Like, do you want to, like, you could fit in some of the toys I own, like, is this lady as big as my guitar? I don't think so.
Probably, I don't know. Whatever. She's a singer-songwriter. She's whatever.
Oh, she's Cat Stevens. Got it.
She's Cat Stevens. Jesus.
Or Yusef Islam was his name eventually.
Oh my God.
In the chat they ask, why are all the late night shows white? They're not. One of the greatest of all time was Arsenio Hall. He had a popular show. He just hasn't been on the air in a long time. But Arsenio was like the show for a minute.
Yeah, and they brought it back for a minute. Nobody watched it. So.
Yeah, revivals are hard, but yeah, Arsenio Hall had everybody from Hulk Hogan's career died originally because he went on Arsenio Hall and lied about his steroid use. Arsenio Hall also had like big wrestlers, big music acts. He had Hammer on early. The best one, Nick, was when he interviewed Jason Voorhees from like Part 7.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
And he keeps asking him questions, and he just looks at him the whole time and doesn't speak. It's hilarious.
Yep, yeah, and I remember that because that's always shown in like even the Crystal Lake documentary that's shown all the time. And it's great. It put him on the map, but apparently it didn't push him forward into a lot of stuff. I really wish this show would have lasted longer and kind of been carried on further into pop culture. But it's kind of more of a blip, which sucks because he was really good at what he did and he had really good people on. And I think he even got ridiculed for having certain people on, and he went into the audience and said, "Listen, I'm doing this because I want this person on here." I want them on here so we can have a conversation, not because they're here to promote what this and that and the other. But like he actually took a stance a couple times and yelled at the audience for like giving him crap. So
yeah, Arsenio was good.
No, he was great. He was great, but it was one of those times like I feel like he either he didn't get the recognition he deserved, or he was just kind of like thrown into obscurity and nobody really cares, which kind of sucks.
You know who hosted a late night show and no one gave a shit about, and it pretty much tanked his career?
Who?
Chevy Chase. Remember the Chevy Chase show on Fox?
I do not.
I think it was on for like hold on, let me see how long it was on real quick. I'll ask my phone. I'm gonna guess it was on for like 4 months. It was something small. I don't think it lasted a whole season. How long was the Chevy Chase show on TV?
That's wild.
29 episodes.
So a month or 2 months, probably.
September 7th to October 11th before being canceled due to low
God.
ratings and negative reception. Yeah, the Chevy Chase show. So the legend is that Johnny Carson thought that Chevy Chase would eventually take over the Tonight Show, or the guy at NBC thought that. So that didn't happen, and eventually Chevy Chase got his own show. Dr. Coffin has, of course, you remember, Batman Well, Freddie Del Taco. Shout out to those who have a long attention span for popular culture. Or if you're like me, you're a sponge, and you're like, I never watched this show, but I know the history of it because it was absolute dog shit. Listeners in the chat, by the way, we have word from both bullshitters that they're on their way to return to WCBS headquarters, their respective branches, and we'll be able to start the show proper. So we got all these bagel titles. Sander is knocking it out of the park. But Runs with Phantoms bring us Fiddler on the Bagel. That's a twofer. Ooh, Invasion of the Bagel Snatchers. Nick, if somebody snatched your bagel, would you punch him or would you just let them have it because they're hungry?
I love bagels, man. Nobody's having my bagel. You can go buy your own. Fuck you.
All right, yeah, fuck you. You're not taking my bagel.
Yeah.
So, folks, we're going to start talking about the Spaceballs 2 picture in just a moment because it's official. The movie's happening. But it makes me feel good to know that while Spaceballs really did originate the Star Wars parody trend, we're going to get our whole trilogy done before Spaceballs 2 ever gets released. That way, we'll never be accused of borrowing anything from Spaceballs 2 because I did it first. Well, be on the lookout for that. I need about maybe 14 more pages back from the colorist, and then the book's officially done. I'll get working on the cover this weekend, and you guys will see a sign-up list and all kinds of information in the chat very soon. But it is Mark Hamill's birthday, so we wish our kidnapper a very happy birthday, and we don't hold any grudges. Yes, Fox Hill, it is hard to find good help these days. Nobody. Anybody you want to apply to be a world-class bullshitter, you got to have a hell of a resume, and you have to be at least 35 years old. I'm sorry. It's like being president. You can't be a kid and a world-class bullshitter. We have a rule. Dion's the youngest one at 35.
Yeah, about to say, I was like, maybe the kid can run the TikToks.
Wouldn't it be funny if we had some like young listeners like, I'll run your TikTok for you. You got us 1 million subscribers. I'd be like, all right, well, shit. You're part of the channel forever. We'll add a 5th line of color. Let's see, we got blue, orange. We'll give you green. And then, even though Dion, I want to be green. No, Dion, you're orange. You're Michelangelo. Our color scheme is Ninja Turtles, folks. I commented something nice to Mark Hamill, but it got kidnapped, says Carmel.
Oh my god! I think he's too old to care anymore, and he just likes to rant on the internet because people listen. So
I would put money down though that he would like this book. I don't write these books to or curry favor.
Yeah,
but I think he would love to be a part of this because it's like cathartic for his character, but it's also like just outwardly funny, and he's a little crazy.
Yeah. What we should do is whenever there is we should make it a point whenever you get all 3 books done, we need to take a set of 3 of them to like Mark Hamill and whoever and any other old school Star Wars star that we can meet and give them the books, be like, here, enjoy these, kind of thing.
We should give them to Billy D. Williams and say, sorry, we didn't remember to kidnap you. Just leave him alone.
I think it'd be funny.
Was I not good enough? No, Lando, you're great.
No, he'd be like, thank you, and go drink a Colt 45.
I would. Like, I would love to have a Colt 45 with Billy D. Williams. Folks in the chat, what's a celebrity you'd like to have a drink with? Mine is Billy D. with a Colt 45. What about
I
you,
would
Nick?
I would definitely love to have an old fashioned with Kurt Russell.
I would drink like a milkshake to hang out with Kurt Russell. I don't give a shit what it is. It's like it could be anise flavored or Midori flavored. Look cool. Ooh, I'd be like, yeah, it's Kurt Russell. This is awesome. And then I'd puke in the corner later.
Exactly. You wouldn't care. It's just like, give me 1 minute.
I think it's the celebrity I'd want to hear stories from the most.
Oh, of course, because he's been doing shit forever. I mean, one of the first things he did, I think, was a computer wore tennis shoes for Disney, like way back in the day, and he was in the John Carpenter, Elvis Presley like life story or something.
Yeah, and then
the biopic, yeah, and then the thing, yeah,
and then Escape from New York, and then Big Trouble, and that was it. They never worked together again. Oh yeah, they did. I was trying to ignore Escape from L.A.
Yeah, and then notice how that wasn't on my server. Like that was not on there.
Yeah, there's a reason you shouldn't. Like when I did my John Carpenter marathon about a month ago, I was like, I'm not gonna rewatch Escape from LA because I've watched it since I turned 30, and I'm about to turn 37, so it's been a while. But that was enough. Maybe before I turn 65 years old and retire, then I will watch it.
There you go. There you go.
So, let's see. A couple people in the chat. Let's see. 13 King says, I would like to have a beer with Stone Cold. So would I. I would ask him questions about The Legend of Zelda.
That would be fun.
Michael said, I'd have a cold one with Bruce Campbell. So would I. That sounds
shit.
awesome.
Yeah, he'd be a fun one to talk to. I've always heard people who meet him always have a good things to say about him.
I'd have like a protein energy shot with The Rock, because he's always like worried about being healthy and shit.
I don't know. Have you seen him lately?
Yeah, I can't look at that picture. I'm just like, who are you? The weird thing is, he's been that skinny before. People are like, oh, this is the skinniest he's ever been. No. But what people forget is, when he went from wrestler to actor, he got real thin. Like, go look at Get Smart and Southland Tales, and there's a couple other ones. And there's this weird picture of The Rock with long hair, and he's like bone thin. So, he's done it before.
Yeah,
all right, Ken, with the Bagel Locks Club. Hurry up and get here. You got questions about traffic and shit.
God, man. Oh, jeez.
Now, somebody in the chat said, I can't think of a celebrity that I'd even want to meet at this point. I don't have a lot of any celebrity worship, to be honest, but sometimes these people are cool. Like, a lot of the horror people at these cons are like, they'll just have a drink with you, and they'll tell you stories.
Yeah.
Like, I've told this story on the show, folks. Like, I hung out with Gary Busey once at a bar at a horror con. He was drinking a Coca-Cola with his handler, and the crew of the thing, they were just telling us stories. It was cool. That was like, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely the smaller ones. I feel like are a lot more fun, and you get those kind of like moments where if you meet them at the bar in the hotel or something, or the one like across the street, and you're just cool with them, and you just talk to them like they're fine. As long as you don't freak out and be like, oh, can I get a selfie? Like they're fine. Like they'll be more likely to talk to you and like answer your questions and stuff if you're just like cool,
Yeah, I don't even want to get selfies. Like when we hung out The Godfather, that was awesome.
That was really fun.
That was the best one.
Yep. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage would be cool.
I feel like that guy's only allowed to drink water. He cannot have he cannot have anything between a coffee and like a shot of alcohol, because either way he's gonna like freak out and do something. He gets water and that's it.
No, man, I want Nicolas Cage wired, and I want to hang out with him, and I want to go the distance. Like somebody in our chat was saying, guys, I need you to help me stay up. I'm pulling an all-nighter. Nicolas Cage and I could go on a bender for 6 weeks. I don't care what happens to me at the end of that 6 weeks, but it'll be the greatest 6 weeks of my life. It'll be the last 6 weeks.
I feel like if you drink with Nicolas Cage, you'll end up in like Honduras and a week later, because you'll just black out for that long. You'll just not know what happened.
That's okay, Nick. That's a risk I'm willing to take, man. I want a great story for this podcast. I want 1 million subscribers.
You have to like look at your message and be like, what happened? What did I send? What went on? And it's just like you doing like a hangover thing. It's like, oh my god, I did that. Like just. It's
just messages of me saying to people, I'm still alive. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. They're like, Jeff, this sounds like the opening of a Dateline.
Yeah, and it's just like Jeff's Instagram goes from like what it is now to like 1 million followers because he keeps posting reels of what he's doing.
Yeah, I treat Instagram like an afterthought. Hey, I drew this thing 6 months ago. Look at it. Like that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't post the naked ladies anymore. I don't draw them anymore. I learned how to draw them. That was the whole point. It wasn't like, hey, let me draw smut. It's I can't really draw these that well. Let's practice. And I got better at it.
I honestly think you should bring the naked lady drawings back. I really do.
If I could sell out of these tits and art books, then I will. But there's a lot of those left.
Well, see what happens. See what happens during Christmas. Maybe we can have like some sort of like sale or something, and get the rest of them out.
Buy one, get one free. One for you, one for your brother, one for your mother. If she's into that sort of thing, it's tits and art. There we go.
Hey, whatever, man. We don't kink shame.
No, unless that's your kink. Then... I love a good time killer, Nick. We talk about sex books and rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Coffindales, I'm glad you follow me on Instagram. Folks, if you're listening and you're on the gram and you don't follow me, it's the Jeff Hicks. You will get updates on Stealing Solo 2. I don't know if there's a picture of any of it up there yet. There might be. Let's look real quick, because clearly I'm not live on the air in front of thousands of future listeners. Yep, there is a look at it. So, the second picture. And there's also a picture of me at a con. Don't look at that one. I don't want you to know what I look like.
But what if you were at a con with Con?
Like he's dead. You mean Ricardo Montalban, right?
Oh shit, he died. Oh man, that's right.
Oh shit, he died like 20 years ago, I think. Hold on.
I didn't get the notification. I'm sorry.
When did Ricardo Montalban die? January 14th, 2009.
I didn't get the notification. The iPhone was alive then. I didn't get the notification. I'm sorry.
I had a smartphone back then. You have no excuse, Mr. Rourke.
That's true. That's true. God, I need to get rid of. I can't wait to get rid of my iPhone. I'm gonna try to do that this year. I hate it.
So everybody in the chat, thank you for your bagel titles. Shrubbles08, I know you're going to bring us more food-related titles each and every week here on the show, and I love it completely.
Bring this espresso.
Oh yeah, I think that's Matt G that Andrew said. I don't know much about the Teenage Witch either.
The only thing I know about it is that she appeared in that Archie's Alive, like the zombie graphic novel that came out. That's it.
Oh man, I was looking at some news real quick. 6.3 million people watch Jimmy Kimmel. Isn't that great?
That's it?
I guess.
Okay, good. So it's just gonna be like that first night, and then afterwards nobody's gonna care. So that's nice.
No. So while we're waiting for the rest of the guys, I guess what we'll do on top of this is, Nick, I dropped a video earlier about 2 hours ago now, about how Disney wasted $250 million for that show, The Acolyte.
Jesus.
What kind of scam can I run to convince a bullshit corporation to give me an ungodly amount of money? Like, I'm not gay or trans, but I'm like a weird race. Maybe I could like get them to let me do like a Star Wars allegory about like racism in the 90s or some shit. Like, what's my pitch?
Oh no. You don't go that route. You go the religious route. You say you do the whole religious thing, or you do the cult thing. The cult thing's always fun.
We're starting a cult. Let's do it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it has to be a sex cult, because it can't be the other cult, because the other cult, you have to drink the Kool-Aid, and then people die. You can't go that route. It's got to be a sex cult. It's got to divulge into a sex cult after.
You didn't even have to like give me reasons that it has to be. You're like, it's a sex cult. Okay, now what? It's got to be like because
it's one of those things where like cults usually just divulge into sex cults. Well, they go to like one of two ways, but you always want them, you kind of veer towards sex. You don't want to go to the suicide cult, because that's a one-way street. But yeah, the sex cult's always the way to go.
Let's make a movie called Sex Cult.
Sex.
It's like a secret. It's a sequel to Sex Drive.
Oh god,
Four guys start a cult to get laid regularly.
I mean,
that could movie.
That would. I mean, if you could do, there are several ways to do that. That'd be fun though. use social media and make it like a whole thing. It would be this generation's or the current generation's like American Pie. I feel like they would dig it.
Would this generation accept American Pie? Because everyone's like,
No.
well, they filmed her. She's naked. It's like everybody misses the point of that scene. Yeah, that was messed up that they broadcasted, but the dude got embarrassed more than anybody else. Like,
Yeah.
he's the butt of the joke. People forget that. They're like,
Yeah, and also that webcam was 1.3 megapixels. Like the best it could do is like 360 by 128 or something. Like it's not a lot of resolution. It's not like you could read the posters behind him or something. Like it's terrible resolution. Even
his
if she
room
was
was well lit though.
it was for being a room. It was always well lit for some reason. I don't know why. But it was one of those things where like even if she was standing 3 feet from the camera, you still couldn't make out what's happening. It's just terrible resolution.
I used to love her so much. Folks, welcome in. It's America's Stepdad, Chocolate Thunder, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, children of all ages, like Ja Rule, I'm not going to fake you out on a vacation, but I may not be on time, but I'm always there when you call me. What's up?
What's up? Indeed. We were talking about starting a sex cult. Are you in?
Depends. Am I the follower or the leader?
It's like you're one of the leaders, so you have access to all the white women you could
I'm in. That's all I need to hear. I'm in.
We've only been friends for 17 years, Dion. You think I'm going to do you wrong? No.
Wow. 17 years.
Yeah, right?
That's pretty crazy.
Not my longest friendship, though.
Yeah, nearly 2 decades.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
I
know his mama.
The kids.
That's before the kids. He knew me before I was an upstanding citizen.
Yeah, he knew you when you were young, wild, and free.
Yeah, I was Wiz Khalifa the whole time.
No, you weren't. You were exactly the same minus the facial hair.
Okay, so what you're saying is Dion.
Yes, exactly. I was exactly the same.
So what you're saying is Dion did not look like Tech 9 back then. Okay, gotcha.
That was the best response ever. So, folks, the other day, Dion posted some chat about how he's something on Facebook, how he's handsome or whatever, and Nick goes, "You look like Tech 9," and Dion responds with, "You mean Tech Fine?" I was like, that was a good response. Like, I think it's lame, but it was pretty good.
That was the most like 90s like sitcom dad response in the world.
I was gonna make that same joke now, even though the light's going out. I was gonna make the same joke now. I was gonna be like, Tech Fine.
Pay your fucking.
Brought it up. I was like, fuck. He told them my secret.
Yeah, pay your fucking light bill, goddammit.
It's not the light bill. It's the fucking plug sucks. There it is. Yeah.
Dion, I was gonna get you a practical Christmas gift. Now I'm just gonna get you a nice surge protector.
My man. You
Made
know
of
what
solid gold.
matters.
Get him an one of those UPS things, the uninterrupted power supplies. It's just a giant battery, so he can broadcast for like 3 minutes and then it just dies.
All right, folks, we got some new people joining us in. Shout out to Enrique. Shout out to Breadman Productions. Dr. Meatball, what up? We were just 2 bullshitters tonight, but now we're 3, and we can jump into some of our topics. We already talked about our Disney streaming hike. We don't really give a shit too much because it's a tax write-off for me, and most of you don't even care about Disney+. Dion, do your kids watch it?
Yes, actually, Disney Plus. Hillary plays. Right before we was playing a little hooky because she had a bad day, but she was like, "Yo, they just announced that Disney Plus is going up." I was like, "Of course it is. What a coinkadink!"
Well, like I said, it's going up on my birthday. Enjoy it, Dion. I wish I could get the $2 from every Disney Plus subscriber as my birthday present. I would be very wealthy.
That'll work.
Well, it would guarantee that we're going to Europe because, folks, like I said on Tuesday night's show, one of the goals with this book that we're going to have this campaign is, if we hit an ungodly amount, which I'll put in the campaign, we're going to Europe, the 4 of us. We're going to go on a drinking tour from Amsterdam to England and then back to America. So
sounds like a slice of fried gold to me.
Yeah, boy. So, if you look at the screen right here, you might think that you're looking at a picture from the Star Wars Force Awakens cast read from 2000 and whatever bullshit year that movie was first announced.
14.
And, okay, that year. 2012 was when they first announced it, and then it was like, hey, there's this picture of whatever. But I saw this picture today, and I thought, oh, great. They're going to be, this is from Spaceballs 2, and they're riffing on The Force Awakens. And against all hope, I'm trying to stay optimistic and positive because a good movie can make your day, a great movie can make your week, and a legendary movie can be a part of your life forever. And Spaceballs, the movie, is a legendary film. I've owned it on every format. I've watched it countless times. I can quote the dialogue back to you. But it was a one-and-done picture, and that's what I enjoyed about it the most. And now we're living in a world with a Spaceballs sequel. Now, this image has a lot of fun Easter eggs. Like, if you look closely, here we have these people, which I don't know who they are. But over here we have Colonel Sanders, Princess Vespa, Lone Star, Rick Moranis. But here's the best joke no one's talking about. Pizza the Hut has made an appearance in Spaceballs 2. Right here. There he is.
Oh, my God.
Now, right off the bat, what did you think of this announcement, and what do you think of this picture? Nick?
Listen, I'm on the fence on this the whole time because they did make a cartoon of this a few years ago. That was a miniseries that didn't do too well, and it was supposed to be Spaceballs 2 as well. And I watched it, and it wasn't that funny. Even when they did History of the World Part 2 that came out a couple years ago, I think it was during COVID, that was okay. It wasn't, all that great. It wasn't super funny. It wasn't the Mel Brooks stuff that we're used to. So it's just been kind of lackluster, and I feel like a lot of this is just them kind of propping this up and making it seem like it's something big. I'm happy Rick Moranis is coming back to be Lord Helmet, which makes me like that's probably the happiest thing the biggest outcome I think is from this. But everything else just seems very like I don't know, man. I just hope it's good. I just hope it's good. Really, that's my thing.
Yeah, I watched that show when I was at college, and that university was Michigan State, where I met Dion. Dion, what is your take on this movie/image?
I'm worried. I'm worried as hell because it is a very God dang it. It is a very 21st century movie thing to bank a lot of the hype on post or pre-production stuff. So, I get the reference here. It's a good sign in terms of the jokes that we may get from it. But at the same time, we got this same picture and it ended up being a shit show no matter what Twitter says. So even though, they made, the pizza joke and, we get to see Rick Moranis and he's going to be in it and we get excited and we're very excited, sequels and remakes are, they're 50-50 right now. So not to mention the fact that, hey, Mel Brooks is old. He doesn't have the physical wherewithal to protect the property as he would have done in the 2000s. So I'm worried, man. I'm worried. I'm not necessarily in panic mode. Certain there have been a few remakes that have turned out well. Naked Gun I thought was awesome, but
same.
I just I'm worried. I'm very worried because you just can't always trust these studios, especially when they're referencing the failures of recent projects. It's just, the joke might be there, but the currency may not. So I'm worried, man. I'm worried.
Yeah. I'm looking at a lot of the comments. People are calling Josh Gad comedy AIDS. Remember what happened to Happy Gilmore 2? I'm with you. I want to stay optimistic because that's just the kind of guy I am. But if on YouTube you want me to bitch about it, this movie's going to tear the world apart. It's going to take us to a dark age. The plague's coming back. It's going to ruin everything. That's what it's going to do. No, I don't like a lot of the people involved with this movie, like Josh Gad. I don't think Keke Palmer's funny enough to get me to go see any of her other movies. We'll see how this looks. I think it's going to be it's going to have the problem that Ghostbusters has, where I'm slightly younger than the people that were there to see it when it came out. But I grew up with this movie on tape, much like Ghostbusters. And we're getting to the point where people are getting older in their lives, and they're getting nostalgic, so they get emotional, and they tie these emotions to the childhood, and they try to make these movies a bigger deal, and that's how they sell it to you. Don't fall for that fucking trap. I had to cuss to break you out of the stupor. Like, yeah, it's great to go back and watch Spaceballs and think of how funny it is. It's awesome. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. But I don't like what Hollywood does, where they just try to tie the marketing to your emotions. Like, if we get a heartfelt moment in Spaceballs, I'm fucking walking out. Spaceballs isn't a heartfelt movie. There isn't a heartfelt moment. Unless Mel Brooks sadly passes away before this film comes out, I don't want to see anything referential. Not even a Barf. John Candy was great, but let his character go. Barf passed on. Amog migrated to some other planet or some other bullshit. He and Dot Matrix got married. I swear to God, if they do a scene that's a callback to Dot and him or some shit like that, that's going to fall into the Disney trap. And you can't be a good parody, and you can't be biting if you're going to fall into the same bullshit trap that these other films make. Or fall into. Excuse me. So that's kind of my concern, because one of our friends keeps texting me about this fucking movie all day long, and I'm like, I get it, you're excited, but like, leave me alone about Spaceballs 2. It'll happen when it happens. I'm not counting down the days for Spaceballs 2. We'll see it for the channel in 2 years, but until then, like, I'll talk about what I think about of these releases and these leaks as they come out, but
yeah, and
I can't get
you know,
pumped.
yeah. Also, like, yeah, as you guys are saying, like the remakes and the redos and everything, that I think is like this. It's not playing into people's, you know, psyche anymore, into their nostalgia gland or whatever you want to call it anymore, because they're just tired of it. They're tired of seeing everything remade and perverted and redone, and it's terrible. I mean, for instance, we're getting Tron Ares, and I think in like a couple of weeks, and nobody cares. Like they've done zero advertising for that at all. It's really bad.
That one, everybody knows how I feel about Disney, but it bothers me that Tron is a consistent, like, the two that are out are good movies. I will go to bat for Tron Legacy. I think that movie deserves way more credit. It was great visually. It had awesome music, like 10 out of 10 music. And the story was fun and engaging. I know Jared Leto sucks the big one, but I hope this one's good too, because I like the Tron franchise, and I want to see, I love technology and video games and that jumping between worlds and the light cycles and all that stuff. I think it's one of Disney's best franchises that just doesn't make the money. But
yeah,
the nostalgia of that can't save it. So, do you think the nostalgia of Spaceballs is going to save
that
it?
point, I think to that point, right? That's the issue with me, is that, you know, Tron is a perfect example. The same issue that I may or may not have with Spaceballs, right? When you're bringing up a previous property and you ignore the things that make it good. I am with you on defending Tron Legacy. I will defend that movie. It looked good. It sounded good. The reason why it didn't work is because it was called Tron Legacy and Tron wasn't in it until the end.
That's
which
a fair
is why
point, Dion.
Ares, I'm very worried about, to that point. To the fact that Jared Leto is Tron, I'm worried about that. You move that to Spaceballs. I don't want to have a Tron Legacy situation where it's like, hey, it's Spaceballs, but not really, and that's where things start to get a little hairy.
Wait, Jared Leto is actually playing Tron the character? Because that pisses me off already.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Tron.
Hollywood, hear me out for a minute. Give me the floor, me. Stop casting Jared Leto. I get it that he won an Oscar for the Dallas Buyers Club like a million years ago or something. He's not the guy to save a franchise. He's not the guy to do anything. He's the Joker that sends people condoms and shit. Like, he's the bad Joker. He's the exception to the rule where everyone goes, well, Michael Keaton had a lot of fan pushback and Heath Ledger had a lot of fan pushback, so you got to give this guy a chance. Well, guess what? The argument worked once. Jared Leto came out. It was the worst one ever, and that argument's invalid. No more I'll wait and see. I'm going to judge castings of Batman and the Joker harsher than ever because you got that chuckle fuck it in there, and you ruin it. with your hand tattoo and your grill and all that crap, if he brings that kind of energy to Tron Legacy, I might leave. Just I don't care. I want to walk out of a movie indignantly.
It is the perfect example of why fans are so, one, hesitant, and two, automatically reject things. We were, and it's crazy now because Tron Legacy was what, 2011, 2012. So we're, that's 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, damn. But that's the same issue, right? They want to put out new franchises or sequels to franchises or legacy sequels to franchises, and they miss the mark because they don't want to do the thing that made the thing cool. Tron is so funny that it came up because it's a perfect fucking example, right? Like this idea, like, hey, this new property we want you to give our money to. Spaceballs is coming out. We want you to be excited with Mel Brooks and all that. But if there is no joke about Star Wars, Spaceballs will fail if they do not acknowledge how hilarious the failure of the sequel trilogy is. Spaceballs was awesome because it made a joke of the funny things of Star Wars. We all love Star Wars, but it's very funny that you have a dude with this other dude in a ship and they just could go around banging chicks. Like, that's a hilarious joke. Tron suffered because the name of the movie was Tron. The people forgot the first Tron. It wasn't a success just because it was Jeff Bridges and they were trying something new with film technology. The story was reminiscent of a time comic books and video games were a big deal, and this idea that we could go there and there was this program that was like, yo, protect the user. And he was the whole point of the movie was that he became a badass. And then Tron Legacy comes out and it looked awesome. And we didn't see him. Star Wars is another perfect example. We had an all-time classic film that was available, and we didn't get the big three on screen together. Like, what are we doing? Like, it was Star Wars was Han, Luke, and Leia, and they weren't in the sequels. It's not rocket science, and everyone's worried about Tron because, hey, it's another decade, and it's Jared Leto being weird, and now they're like, hey, it's the same movie, but red's the color of the movie now, and everybody's worried about it, and rightfully so. And it's the same thing with Spaceballs. Like, yes, we all love Mel. He's old, and we know that he means well, but like, if the gimmick is just, hey, it's Mel Brooks and it's Spaceballs and Star Wars is loosely attached, but there's no sizzle to the steak, it's gonna suck. And everyone it's just so hard to believe studios because they don't understand the properties that they reboot. They don't understand the specific ingredient that made it fun. And it's exhausting. And people who are worried about Spaceballs 2, yes, we love Rick Moranis, excuse me. He's back. We're excited. But if you waste Rick Moranis, somebody's going to fucking get their head busted to the white meat. It's not a fucking game. Do not waste Rick Moranis. If you waste Rick Moranis, we're going to riot. We're going to fucking riot. I don't care. Don't waste him. I swear to God, Mel. I swear to God.
Don't go over his helmet, is what Dion's trying to say.
I love how Dion became Black Gentleman. He's like, you're trying to protest. I'll be right down there in the front, showing you how the fuck it's done.
Shut the fuck up while grown folks is talking.
Exactly.
He's thrown that shit before he even steps in the room, okay? He's ready.
Dude, yeah. Dion got fired up about Spaceballs too, but I mean, rightfully so, because we're tired of this, like, this soulless cash grab of our childhood, of these things that are good, and we're promised, like, oh, it's been 30 to 40 years, we're gonna do a part two. It's like, go fuck yourselves. Make make something with that money and that effort. Make something new and make that the new franchise. Quit trying to revitalize these things. How about you take your creativity that you think you have and try to make something new that you can bank on. Try doing that.
They just want the money.
And to that point, like, it sucks because in the early 21st century, the thing was you can fuck up the main project, but we'll have the DVD exclusives afterwards. We'll have the video game tie-ins. And that happened with Tron, right? Tron Legacy comes out and we love everything but the meat, right? And so then there was chat, help me out with the other animated movie, but there was Tron. It was like Tron Genesis or something. I can't remember. You guys will know what it is.
Do you mean that cartoon, like the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a show, but it was like a quick animated movie. And then there was a PC game, but it was Uprising. Yes, Tron Uprising. Right. It's like don't make the main course semi-good and then try to bank on the supplemental material to come back and fuck people up. That's what we wanted, and we almost got it. And with Spaceballs, we want Star Wars level humor that understands the parts that are funny that are in Star Wars. I'm not a type of guy that's like, yo, if this happens, I'm not gonna like it. But if this new Spaceballs comes out, especially after this photo, and they don't make fun of the sequels, it's going to be a waste of time. The level of hilarity that we have available, because the sequels weren't good. Twitter, kiss my black ass. The sequels weren't good. There's a lot of funniness that we can come on it. And if you don't use it, you're wasting everyone's time, man. And that is reflected in the overall project because it's not funny. It's not good. It's not Spaceballs.
And the thing I'm going to bounce off your point, but to continue to add to it is, I think Josh Gad being the voice of that snowman in Frozen and having a deal with where he, works for that company, I don't think he'll go too far. If he were to get a call that were to say, hey, Josh, could you take out this joke or could you do something a little differently? I don't think Josh Gad would say no. I don't think he's an artiste or he's going to die for his art. I think if he gets a call from Lucasfilm, would you mind not making fun of this, this, and that? We have a new movie coming out. We feel like it would hurt this. I think he would do it. I don't think he has the biting edge to just put something good in it like that. Like what can you do to make fun of it when it's already a parody of itself? It's like, hey, another desert planet. Hey, like Keke Palmer should play Rey, and she should be literally fucking bulletproof. That's the joke. Like they try to shoot her, it's like pew pew pew, and it just flies off. Like Princess Vespa's like, they could shoot my hair, and Keke Palmer's like, nah, bitch, I'm bulletproof. That's the whole movie. Like I could get into that joke.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing I'm worried about. I'm worried about because it probably will happen where sadly we'll probably lose Mel Brooks either in the beginning of production or in the middle of production, and then it's going to have to be taken over by somebody, and then it's going to be even worse.
But how much is he actually involved? I think his name's just attached, and he's on Zoom call.
That might actually be it. Yeah, that might actually be it too, where he's just like executive producing or producing and not directing because. I think that's a legitimate concern they have. It's just like, you're up there. We can't have you have a heart attack during a take,
I hope he outlives Josh Gad and everybody involved with this movie. I hope Mel Brooks.
Have you seen Josh Gad? I mean, everybody's gonna outlive him.
I heard he's just a shell of his former self, propped up by Twinkies and Slim Jims.
He's just three 8-year-olds in a coat. That's all he is.
Equally smart, equally funny.
But yeah, no, I'm with you guys. I hate Josh Gad. He was when he first came up, I thought he was kind of funny in the beginning. He did some funny things when he first started, and then he just kind of divulged into family stuff and has never left that arena. Which I mean, if that's what you want to do when you're getting paid, that's fine. but you're not a comedy genius, and you're not that funny, and you're not that relevant anymore, and nobody cares. I'm glad you did the voice of the snowman, and that pays your bills and gets you a few houses. That's fine, but like you being in this movie, I think like everybody says, it's like it's comedic cancer, comedic AIDS. I think so. I mean, having him in there just makes me think like, oh, that's not a good decision.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to do like a Spaceballs type of parody of something of the modern age, you could do a biting criticism of how like Marvel movies have shit the bed. You could like make like the running joke could be like every 5 minutes the movie restarts because they're all the same movie after a certain point. Like that could be a good joke. You could do all sorts of other things, but it's like Spaceballs has been done. The Star Wars parody's been done, and luckily it's as good. Like I'll go out and say something controversial. Spaceballs is as good, if not better, than Return of the Jedi. Like it's a good movie on its own, and it makes fun of more than just Star Wars. It's structured like a film. It doesn't really follow the structure of Star Wars like you would think. It's Princess Vespa's gonna get married and this and that, and she's got her own gimmick. It's a very like traditional story. Hell, Robin Hood Men in Tights is like Spaceballs.
Oh my god. Well, and also we've gotten parodies after the fact. We've gotten parodies from Family Guy, which were pretty good. We've gotten parodies from Robot Chicken, which were also pretty good as well too, and pretty memorable. We've had a lot of. Oh yeah, Also the main one, Us.
It was a hit, and we got another one coming out. I'm going to tell everybody until we sell 1 million copies.
Oh, of course, and like it's one of those things where it's like we've gone through that. I think we've gone through that total shitting on Star Wars thing, and like now it's just kind of sad. It's like it's just old and beat down to the corner, and it's like we've beaten it to death. Does it really deserve to be beaten anymore?
Yes, it does. I sat through episode 7, 8, and 9.
We all did. We almost got kicked out of the last one because of Dion.
Yeah. You know what? If we would have gotten kicked out, I wouldn't have told the audience. I would have just assumed how the movie ended, and then I would have went to Reddit on the ride home, and be like, "All right, we're still doing our show."
I wasn't that bad.
No, you weren't, but just like no, you weren't.
It was Kentucky though, so
But just like the couple of times you had like a hilarious outburst, like everybody looked at you, and I'm just like, you didn't do it a third time, so we didn't. And like I was like, I doubt they would kick you out. That would look really bad
Nick,
on them.
His outburst was during the LeBron James Sprite commercial.
Well, no.
It wasn't even during the movie.
There was one during the movie. There was one during the movie where he goes, "Come on!" Like it was something like that.
I mean,
I think it was when that one guy was like, "I'm the spy" or whatever the hell he said.
Oh yeah, I'm the spy.
Yeah.
I have literally never watched that movie since we watched it in theaters. I know people assume like that's what I think about a lot. Star Wars, not really. Like, I have not watched those again, and I never will.
The only thing I remember was like the fucking space horses on the outside of the ship from the trailer. It's the only thing I remember.
That again. Thanks,
and
Nick.
Like it's one of those things where like that will never leave my mind because that was a fucking thing they did for that movie, and they kept having it on and on the trailer all the time, and like somehow that was them being like, oh, this is a crazy part. It'll be a selling point. It's like, no, this makes you look like idiots. It's terrible.
It's their money shot.
Yeah, they thought it was a money shot, but it just made them look, inept.
That shit was crazy. I do remember. So the biggest reason why I remember the horse scene is because obviously, we were watching it. I had bought some drinks or whatever. I was kind of fucked up, and they got to that part, and they were doing like, oh, they're riding the horses on the hull of the ship. I remember I sat up, and I looked to my left, and I looked at Nick, and then I looked over to my right because Jeff was sitting over here. And you both had this look on your faces. And I was like, okay, I'm not having a stroke. This is okay. Just making sure. I will never forget that shit. I will. This is after somehow Palpatine returned. This is after the knife thing. This is after the whole they fly now thing. Like that was after that. They were on the horses, and I just went like that. It went like this, and I was like, okay, I'm not alone. Okay, we're good. Carry on, JJ, carry on.
I'm just really glad that your kids don't like those movies, because like I think they're great kids, and it would be so hard to lie to them and be like, it's okay that you like those movies. No, it's not.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
They're bad, man. Listen, and don't let Twitter fool you anyone that says that they're good, it's a bot account because nobody that watched Star Wars is like, oh fuck, man, I watched episode 7, 8, or 9, man. I was making out with this shit, and it didn't happen. None of that happened. None of it.
Yeah, nobody's getting any of the Star Wars movies in general.
No,
Like none of them, even the good ones. Like it's Star Wars. We know what we've bought in for. We know what people think of us.
I mean, the
We're-
good ones, you're like, oh man, that's crazy. That's his dad. Come here, baby. That's kind of crazy, right? That's scary, right? He a bad guy. Come here, girl.
Yeah, and then you just turn off the TV, and then you go in the other room with your lady, and you don't
Yeah,
think about
baby.
Star
You know,
Wars.
I ain't gonna let no Sith Lords get you.
What if she's a spy?
Well, in that case,
she's a
we all in
honey
trouble.
pot. I'm sorry, but if a CIA honeypot gets that far into your world where she's on your couch in your living room, you're fucked already. Just accept it. You're fucked.
That's
we all
fair.
got to make sacrifices.
I wanted to give a quick shout out to Andrew in the chat. This comment was what I was laughing at earlier. Jeff, not everything is going to live up to the expectations the way The Force Awakens did. I know you love that movie, but they can't all be bangers and classics like that movie.
Oh my god.
Dude, I was trying not to laugh when you guys were making points, but that was legit, dude. Shout out to Andrew. Listener of the evening, like I always say, get our attention in a positive way, and you will become listener of the day. You, sir, are officially listener of the day.
Thank God our fans, our audience, like know what sarcasm is and can really dole it out. That's good.
Yeah, we do it for you guys. That's why we enjoy doing this show, because you guys make it fun. YouTube doesn't help us out, but you guys
they
do.
really don't. They really don't. But yeah, dude, it's this like Spaceballs 2. I'm on the fence. I don't think it'll be good. We are definitely going to watch and review it. We may even do a live drunk watch party for the first one. Who knows? We'll figure that out.
Well, I'm going to guess that this isn't going to be strictly theatrical because it's an MGM Amazon movie. I bet they do a double dipper of theater and Prime same day.
Yep.
Ooh, that would. I mean that. I mean, if they were to announce that, that would already like that would dwindle whatever faith I had in the movie already to zero. Because if they're gonna double dip that hard, then it's not worth even watching it then, because that shows you like how much faith they have on it. It's kind of like when they thought that Red 1 was going to be a hit and they made it go from an Amazon exclusive to just a theatrical release.
Oh, dude, I forgot that The Rock made that terrible Christmas movie. Please stop reminding me. Like, he's a wrestler first and an actor second in this household.
Listen, the guy who played Santa
was good.
The guy who played Santa was the best part of that whole movie.
Oh yeah, J.K. Simmons is the shit.
Dude, he was awesome. It was great. But that movie was fucking terrible. It was 2 hours. It was 2 goddamn hours.
You know, I've never taken an acting class in my life. I've never been on a film set. Well, that's not true. I've never been in anything, but I think I can outact The Rock. Like, I think everybody here in the chat can outact The Rock too. He's just not.
Dude, the best acting he ever did was back when he was on SNL every other like day or whatever. Whenever he was on the few skits he did, that was peak acting. Also, Pain and Gain, that was peak acting. So
I like Pain and Gain a lot.
Maybe Walking Tall, but Pain and Gain was probably the peak.
Walking Tall was good.
The Rock does have a handful of good movies. I'm not gonna act like everything the guy's done is crap.
Are you gonna watch his newest one, the A24 one?
Smashing Machine.
I want to watch it ironically because I think like Hollywood's gonna love it. But a couple early reviewers, like months ago, they were talking about it on the Jim Cornette show, and they were making fun of it. I think everybody's going to be really good, and then The Rock's going to be, like, standing out in a bad way. It's like, Emily Blunt, great performance, so-and-so. And The Rock in this goofy-ass wig is trying to talk with an accent. And I think that's going to make me laugh so hard.
I mean, I've watched the trailer a couple times, and, like, Emily Blunt does a really good American or Boston accent, whatever she's doing. She's really good at it.
She looks good in that movie too.
No, she's world class. Like, she's actually a really good actress. I really love when she does a really good job. But The Rock trying to like be next to that is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
I know they did like Jungle Boat Ride or whatever, and that was a Disney movie, so you really can't count that. Jungle Boat Cruise.
Terry Crews. What about
underrated? I dare say underrated.
Dude, I watched it. I couldn't get through the first 40 minutes. I had to turn it off. I was just like,
Really?
yeah, I gave it a chance. I got it. I acquired it, and I watched it, and I was just like, I can't do this. I need to turn this off.
It's silly fun. It's silly fun. I will agree with you guys. The biggest concern I have with the Smashing Machine is The Rock, because his last couple years ain't been great. And no matter what Dwayne tells you, Black Adam happened, and we all put our eggs in his basket, and he fucking hit us in the face with it. That being said, you know, I believe if Emily Blunt's involved, I'm gonna give it a chance. So we'll see, especially now that he's losing weight for whatever project he's doing now. So he's very clearly banking on the Smashing Machine. I'd be amazed if he was pulling a Mickey Rourke and it was bad. I would be amazed. Because even The Rock seems to have acknowledged, oh shit, the things I do, they have to be good. Yeah, no shit, Dwayne.
Yeah, I think he's chasing an Oscar right now. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to chase an Oscar.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Does he win one in his lifetime?
I don't think so.
I'd say yeah.
I think he'll get nominated a couple times, but if he does win one, it'll be when he's like an old decrepit man.
Is it going to be a biopic, or it's going to be one of those not high concept but like well put together character driven films where he has like a Jules Renfield type character? It's either going to be a biopic. If he doesn't win an Oscar for the Smashing Machine, he's going to have to pull a Pulp Fiction. He's going because right now MMA is hot. It's even though the UFC's fucking up, MMA is the hottest that it's been ever. If he can't get a nod for the Oscars with the Smashing Machine, he's going to need his own Pulp Fiction, 100%.
I mean, he might. I think he might. Well, we'll see what happens with the Oscars, but I think he's going to get at least he might get nominated with the Smashing Machine or whatever it is. He might get nominated with that, but like
he has to, because remember it didn't. Leo got nominated. The only reason he won was because Revenant was technically based on a real person. Yeah. And even though Catch Me If You Can was another real person, Catch Me If You Can lost to
Lord of the
for
Rings,
best
right?
actor. I think they lost to I think you're right. So it depends on what the rest of the field is, but if he doesn't get Smashing Machine, he's going to have a Jules Renfield level character to win because Mark Coleman in 2025, if you can't pull that off, I don't know what to tell you, son.
I'm with Clone Geek. Batista's going to win an Oscar first.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because no. Batista's put in the work. Batista's put in the work. He's done more than just comedic stuff, which he's fine with. But it's like he's done like dramas and uncomfortable things. I mean, even though I didn't really like and then Knock on the Cabin, he fucking did really good with that. He did. His part with that.
Guys and Hillary did not like that movie.
I watched it. I watched it twice, and like I watched it by myself, and I watched it with my family, and I was like, "It's not good. It's not good."
See, the reason Batista is going to win though for The Rock is Batista's versatile. The Rock, and this is me. I literally have a shelf full of Rock shit behind me, and a poster on the floor that I don't have any space to hang up. I like The Rock, the wrestler, but my God, is every movie. The Rock is like, it's like some Tom Cruise movies. He's the best at what he does. He's the hero. It's like Rock. You gotta like lose a fight in a movie, and this Mark Kerr movie's not enough. The reason Bruce Willis is endearing in Die Hard is because he gets his shit pushed in, and he still comes out on top. The Rock just like, oh no, I got a scratch on my. He's like Ray from Star Wars. The Rock got a scratch on his cheek. The Rock is hurt. The Rock is emoting. The Rock saves the day. It's like, okay, man, we get it. Which movie am I talking about? Is it Jungle Cruise? Is it Jumanji? Is it a Fast and the Furious movie? They're all the fucking same, and they look the same too. That's more of a dig at movies, how so many movies just have the same tone. You can't look at a frame anymore and go, oh, that's Dean Cundy cinematography, or oh, that's lit this way, or this and that. Everything's just flat, generic, so they can drop in CGI and special effects. Maybe The Rock's a victim of that, maybe not, but like Batista's characters allow themselves to be made fun of. I don't think The Rock could do a Drax, because The Rock would have to get one up on Star-Lord every time. He couldn't just like be the butt of a joke or do something silly. So,
I agree.
Agree. I think that's well. And again, like to your point, it's that's another overarching issue with Hollywood, right? Like they have an actor, and we're just going to do the thing that they're good at. You know, to your very point about The Rock, that's why Final Reckoning didn't do that well. It was just Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise in another dramatic movie, and you know, and it's very interesting that you bring that up right before the Smashing Machine comes out, right? Because hey, we're at that era now where the regular shit doesn't work like it used to. And for The Rock, he was at that end of the action era where all the other action stars are getting older. Rundown was good. Walking Tall was good.
Yep.
You know, Too Cool sucked. You know, but he was in that weird spot. And then he got to the Fast and Furious movies and he didn't want to lose. And it's like, bitch, like you can't have your cake and eat it too, where you're a big superstar and you're also never losing. And here we are now, you know, to your very point, like he has to actually act, and we've never seen him act. So,
Well, yeah, only like once or twice. That's about it.
even then, you're saying that we've seen it twice. You know, Be Cool, parts of Walking Tall. You know, maybe parts of Faster. When did The Rock actually act?
What was the drug movie where his kid goes to jail and he has to be a mule so the kid doesn't get like federal time?
Isn't that Faster?
No, that's with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, that was when his brother got killed and he got out of jail. Fuck,
I never saw
Is it Snitch?
Snitch. That's
yes.
That was
okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Like, see, that's where I would have liked to have seen The Rock live, where it's like you do your big picture and then you do something that has a little more meat.
But it was Rock fight scene in Chaos. Like you had the beginning of him in the sun, and then it was he had the fuck because it was not Peter Skarsgård. Who was a bad guy in Snitch?
Let's see.
Was it the dude
Stellan
from?
Skarsgård?
It might have been. It was another tall European dude. Like the beginning was him acting, and then the end it was Dwayne Johnson smash. You know what I mean? So that's another good example of him actually trying to act. But besides,
was it John Bernthal?
Snitch, what else did he?
It might have been
I don't
John
think
Bernthal.
so.
Dude, I saw that movie when it came out like 15 years ago or 12 years ago or whenever it was out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, him actually acting like, you know, him emoting is just like I would say Faster, Snitch, Walking Tall, Pain and Gain, and that's about it. I wouldn't even say San Andreas.
San Andreas is the type of movie that we would put on if the four of us got together and needed to like drink for a while. That's the perfect background movie because we can laugh at the goofy ass part where The Rock like saves the day when he comes down on the wire and lady's like, oh, I'm gonna die, and The Rock's like, no, you're not. And then the during the exposition and the build up to the actual plot, we would just get plastered, and then we'd probably check in like when he's. That movie's terrible. Like that British guy and his daughter that like get stuck in the building together. See,
it is really bad.
Yeah,
I do like San Andreas. It is a very much a, you know, disaster movies kind of made a comeback in the 2010s. Yeah, after being dead since the fucking end of the 70s. So he gets a pass. He gets a pass for San Andreas. But Rampage, even though I love Rampage,
oh my
the
god,
fucking pose of him and the ape, I was like, bro, You have to act eventually, Dwayne. You have to act.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Hold
Rampage should have been called Paycheck.
It was in domestic markets.
I do like it. I think that movie. It's a dumb fun movie.
What?
No, it is.
What is your
like,
favorite Rock movie, Dion?
My Ooh, dude. You know what? I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench at you. Favorite Rock movie of all the ones that you would assume your homeboy Dion would love. I think my favorite is still The Rundown. I fucking love.
My god, the fucking
love
Rundown.
that. Fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in the beginning. The whole like, even though those dudes weren't legit NFL players, the like weird pro NFL, because obviously, especially at that time, obviously before I met your gigantic ass, it was me and Diane. So Diane and I watched wrestling, would watch Rock stuff, and we watched The Rundown. We were like pointing at, because we were wrestling fans, so we were like, we know there's gonna be some shit in here, but the movie ended up being good. So like the weird college football NFL thing in the beginning, where he's like, I don't want to beat these guys up. They got a legit chance to go in the draft. That was awesome. Sean William Scott. I mean, he was America's favorite white boy in the early 2000s, and then
Still is in some markets.
Yeah, in most markets, I would argue. And then young Rosario Dawson. Get out of here with that.
Any age Rosario Dawson, dude.
Listen, Rosario Dawson, any time frame, shut up, is gorgeous. And then he's fighting the weird little Amazon dudes on fucking ropes and shit. And the dudes like hit him, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm The Rock. And then the Irish guy, the scene with the Irish dude, and like Sean William Scott's like, hey, help me. He's in the bus, and The Rock's like being all dramatic. He's all sitting there. I don't want to use guns. And the Irish guy's like saying this random monologue. And then there's a guy in the fucking field, and he goes and saves the day. I was like, dude, Rundown, Dwayne, I'm in. You can make a lot of fucked up stuff. I'm in. I didn't know that Black Adam was going to be part of that deal. But at the same time, I love The Rundown. That movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Black Adam was the biggest waste of a birthday ever. Like, Doom came out when I was 17 on my birthday. Black Adam came out on my birthday at 34. Rock, stop making movies on my fucking birthday. Like, you are ruining.
He's just taunting you. He's just taunting you at this point.
I'll just bring it, bitch.
He's just taunting us.
Okay.
I need soldiers. I don't need anybody else but soldiers. I'm like, God damn it, Rock. Why was not the whole movie that part? Yeah. Shit.
I personally love Hobbs and Shaw. I've watched that multiple times. Like, I just think Jason Statham and The Rock, like, that whole movie is hilarious with them together. It's so funny. It's so goddamn funny. I can't stop laughing at it.
I haven't watched it.
I love it. That and I do have a soft spot for Doom, because Doom is pretty terrible in like the best way possible.
I finally saw the other guys after like 15 years.
Oh God. It's okay. It's all right.
I stayed awake to watch it. Folks, we are joined by the fourth bullshitter for the evening, American Ramrod, Coach Kendo Slice.
Yes, Jeff, I am here. I'm exhausted. Let's do this.
You're here, Kendo. Pep it up.
Kendo, I love you. You're coos, bro.
Aw. Okay. Anyway, we have a super chat from our friend Enrique, who says, good evening to the chillest, coolest guys. Can I get a happy birthday shout out to my kid Grayson? He's turning 2, and a Pee-wee button. Well, from all of us here on WCBS, happy birthday, Grayson. Dion, you met him.
Damn right. Love you. You the best. Well, I mean, Enrique and I, we had our own moment when we met. We had a whole thing. He's, me and him, we fam. And plus, his kid is fucking hilarious and cute. If something happens to you, Enrique, I might steal your child.
If something doesn't happen to you, Dion might steal your child. So just keep your kid away from Dion.
Diane has a thing about stealing Latin kids. What was the name? You gonna rename him Carlos? Yeah.
Listen.
What's just Spanish for Charles?
Diane may steal your son Enrique.
Listen, you guys. No. She's not Angelina Jolie. Calm down, okay?
When did this become felony hour?
Well, hey, we'll talk. That's a WCBS After Dark story.
Yeah, we'll put this over on Patreon. We'll talk about felonies and kidnappings and other horse shit. Anyway, brother, here's your button. It's not Wonderwall.
Yeah, that's nice.
Go ahead and scream your head off! We're miles from where anyone can hear you!
R.I.P. Newman. I almost called him Newton. I'd have fucked up. Let's see. We will play our game in just a moment, folks, but I did want to ask this question. Dion, you still here? You're frozen.
Wait, can you hear me now?
No, we can hear you perfectly, but this is the image that you've been stuck on for like an hour.
Oh, wow. That's because I got no choice but to be black, brother. Ask the question and I'll refresh.
We need to start a GoFundMe for Dion's internet. Ask Sally. Yes, or Salty Lint Farmer. Yeah, please do. No, somebody in the chat was saying that they don't like The Dark Knight, and I'm glad that they had the nerve to say it because it's not my favorite Batman movie.
Oh my god! Hold on, I'm gonna refresh this browser and I'm gonna fucking open.
Please don't refresh it. You should stay this face forever. Damn it! No, now it's just me. Shit. There we go. We're back in Hill Valley.
There you go.
Damn it.
The Dark Knight is awesome.
It's a good movie, but I'm also not like I'm tired of kissing Christopher Nolan's ass, okay? I'm just gonna fucking say it. He is a good filmmaker, but we need to stop kissing his ass as a society because he's eventually gonna go one step too far and make some godforsaken film, and everyone's just gonna kiss his ass because it's Christopher Nolan. It's Christopher Nolan.
Oh no,
He's great.
I completely understand kissing his ass. I don't. I do like the Dark Knight movies, except for the third one. It's really not that well, not that good. I did love Oppenheimer. Tenet was a lot of fun.
I did not like Tenet.
Yeah, but no, I'm objective about him. I'm not going to just say because his name's on the screen that it's good. No, everybody has their off days. I mean, not everything a director does is going to be amazing. So it's fine.
Yeah, even John Carpenter has an off day.
Dude, I would say that Dark Knight is a very good movie. It is one of the better Batman movies, but it also suffers from being overrated due to the grave standing of the performance of Heath Ledger.
What'd you say, Dion? You cut out, buddy.
Oh, my bad. Let me know if I'm not staying true to form here. But to Kendo's
You're good
form,
now.
I get what he's saying. He's not at all. But, and yes, I will agree. And we talked about this at the time because we were friends at the time. The Dark Knight did benefit from Heath Ledger dying. Absolutely. That being said, it's still the best movie.
Yeah, I will say this though. Even with Heath Ledger and his performance, I think the revealing Two-Face, especially in that world, I think was the bigger thing than Joker, because seeing Harvey Dent and like you know what kind of happens to him, and seeing how they would do that and how like crazy he looked in the movie was way more over the top and way better than Joker.
Yeah, I think my perception of the movie was colored by constant praise and appraisal from people that just don't understand anything. I'm just like, I get it. You saw this new movie. Please tell me how the movie you saw one time over the summer makes you an expert on everything that came before it. And please tell me why you're going to continually talk over anybody that talks about the movie in a differing opinion. Like, it was the Dustin effect. Like, I hate Watchmen because of that guy. Watchmen's not even a bad movie.
Oh my God.
But I will never watch it again because I swear to God, he overanalyzed it to a fault. And I'm just like, I get it,
I don't blame you for that.
The comedian's not God. I always called him Mr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan isn't that great. Like, he's not that complex of a character. Alan Moore's a great writer, but holy shit.
I went back.
Well, I think that's why our. Go ahead, Nick.
I was going to say I went after I watched Watchmen. I went back and read the graphic novel, and I really liked it. I didn't really care. I didn't really know who Alan Moore was. I knew that he did a few more things besides that, but like I'm not a fan of his. I just really like that. I really just really liked Watchmen, and I did get the crazy like 3.5 hour version with everything in it because I liked that version. So I have that version on to watch all the time because that's what I like.
I don't like V for Vendetta. That's his book that I just.
I hate that
like
movie. I hated it. I've watched it one time, and it was during that time when it first came out, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this movie's so great! You gotta see it! You gotta see it!" And I think Lunchbox and I rented it one night when it came out on DVD, and we watched it. I'm like, "Where does this movie get good?" Because I keep hearing how great this fucking movie is, and I don't see where this movie is getting good. And I found it to be extremely boring.
Oh, who are you guys? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I had children and you guys changed on me. You guys were not like
Kendo has a
before,
child.
even though
100%.
Kendo, no. Before you get all mouthy, Kendo, you may have showed up after I had a kid, but you were different. You used to be beautiful. What the fuck happened to you? You used to be beautiful.
Well, considering I disliked V for Vendetta the first time and only time I saw it 20 years ago when it came out, I'm not sure what changed there. What would have changed is if I would have changed my opinion on the movie, and I just haven't. So I don't know what to tell you there.
But you love the Naked Gun.
What does it have to do with what?
That's
you get. So when I say hold on. So when I say that, it means that he has a sense of humor, right? So Naked Gun. One of the reasons why Naked Gun was so awesome was because it was making fun of cop procedures at the time, right? Awesome. Now you fast forward to Watchmen and Dark Knight. Obviously, not a lot of comedy involved, but those movies were a reflection of America at the time. The reason why I love The Dark Knight so much is because it is very much a post 9/11 world where, oh my God, this crazy, physically talented white dude in a mask is beating up gangsters. And he clearly has a lot of money, and we're not going to ask a lot of questions. And that's why I love Dark Knight, V for Vendetta. Again, you had the whole, you had a government taking over that happens to be very, idealistic. You got a bad guy who's articulate. Same thing. It's a very post 9/11 world. Watchmen, another great example. I love the Watchmen, even though to Nick's point, the comic book is better. But the movie Watchmen is great, where shit's falling apart. And it's very post 9/11, and where we have to have a common enemy immediately to avoid
it takes place in 1985, Dion. It's a Cold War allegory.
Exactly, it is. And would you not say it's very similar at the time? It was
I'm giving you shit. I'm giving you shit. You're actually making an excellent point. I'm just trying to break your fucking stride because I can't stand that fucking.
Well,
V for Vagina was the better movie.
Smart ass.
V for Vagina. God damn it! Now I have to make a porn.
All of our favorite movies.
They both have a shaved Natalie Portman, but we can't talk about the other one here on the channel. I guess I like my comic book movies a little more optimistic. Like I don't dislike The Dark Knight, but I'd rather watch Batman stand on the side of that cathedral and look up at the bat signal any day of the week over than watching him glide away going, he's what we need him to be, blah blah blah. Like it's so serious that it's almost funny at this point because you talk about this post 9/11 world. 7 years removed, the films are definitely different in the late 2000s compared to what they are today. They're all better than what we get today, but it comes from an era that we no longer live in. And if you were there, you can feel it, you can take yourself back and you understand it. But I look at a lot of older stuff from a lens of where we are today, not living in that moment. And I'm like, Jesus, man, like Batman fights monsters and demons. Like I read a story yesterday where he fought a cult and they killed a kid at the end of the book. Like a kid fell off a staircase and died. Batman's like, oh no, I couldn't save him. Like Batman runs the gamut of weird shit, not just like, I gotta be serious. We gotta keep everything grounded in reality. I'm glad we're past that era. And I think a lot of the movies from the early 2000s, like say what you will about Marvel shit in the bed. And yeah, I get it. Everybody hates it and it's fine. But Marvel brought in an acceptability to make shit comic booky and superficial, and like not superficial and super fake and over the top. Like you back when we were kids, you couldn't have superheroes in costumes. They had to wear black leather. They had to all just like cover up and go out at night and do all this Batman shit. And now, thanks to years of like bright, colorful heroes, you can get anything on the screen. I'm still waiting for that one true like Batman movie to get the gray suit and have Batman go on an adventure that's not trying to fight Superman and realize they have the same, their mothers have the same names. So I don't want to live back in that era.
To that point, I think the only thing I would say, I think that's even that era. That's why that era is so good now, is because it still holds a lot of weight. I think that the thing specifically for Christopher Nolan-esque realistic movies is that you still have an optimistic ending, but the optimism is just really small, right? So it's the whole movie is bad and the very end is optimistic, as opposed to our other superhero prodigies that we love. Optimism at the end is really, really wide. You know, The Dark Knight, the optimistic part is, things are fucked up, but Batman's still out there. And it's the fear of Batman that makes everyone else go good. You know, you have the end of Watchmen. Like, the very end is, Rorschach's dead. But the very, very end optimism is Manhattan's the bad guy. He left, and now we're all together, and superheroes are going to come back. You know, the very, very end of, what was the other movie we were fucking talking about?
V for Vagina.
V for Vendetta. The very, very end. It's all bad. It's all gloom. It's all the vaginas don't smell very nice. But at the very end, we get some rose petals. Agent Smith dies. They end the fucking regime, and everybody's outside looking at the fireworks. You know, the optimism is just there. If you blink, you'll miss it. You know, and that's why they still resonate, as opposed to, 89, where Batman saves the day and everybody's kind of melancholy and the music is hitting. The ending is this grandiose, heroic thing. In the 2000s, it was a little bit more realistic, where our optimism ain't that big.
Yeah,
and I'm very happy that at protest that they don't wear the Guy Fawkes mask anymore. Because I don't know what it is anymore.
That's all anonymous now.
So I'm tired of looking at this fucking mask. I was friends with a guy in college. Dion knew him. He would wear his Guy Fawkes mask and run around and say stupid shit. I'm just like, folks, I think that's what it is. I have one or two bad experiences with people in entertainment, and I just fucking hate the entertainment. I don't hate the person. I'm like, you're a person. I'll give you a break.
No, and that's acceptable, because like you said, we went, like, whenever we went to the Goonies thing in Astoria, nobody was randomly quoting lines. Nobody was doing shit. Like, they were just like, they just wanted everything to be, like you said, they just wanted everything to be 1985 again in that town. That's all they wanted. They just wanted that in that town again.
And it was glorious.
Yeah, that's it. Which, like, it's better than them coding things to you all the time and things like that. Like, I would say the most egregious thing they did, which is even like just a slight thing, was like, hey, they would wear a Goonie shirt every day they were there. That was the most egregious thing they did.
But that's how you knew they were here in town, Nick. It's not like us who wore normal clothes actually wore this jacket. No, we weren't repping hard enough. We didn't have our Purple Rain T-shirts on, like and our parachute pants and our members only jackets.
That's true.
Oh. All right, let's play a game in a minute. Let's catch up. We had another super chat roll in from our friend Salty Lead Farmer that says, here's a donation for Dion's internet. But we have a question for Coach Kendo. And thank you, Salty Lead Farmer. Now you make me want to go watch Tropic Thunder. If they made a sequel to that, would you watch it?
They got to make a sequel to it first. They got to make a sequel to that first.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? For 400 years, that word has kept us down. I love that movie. Like, every part of that movie is just...
Robert Downey Jr. has to come back just like that for part two, for it to be part two. So,
hey, guys, after we sell 1 million copies of Stealing Solo 2, I'm going to hire Robert Downey Jr. to do a birthday party appearance as Kirk Lazarus in the black makeup. No cameras, no nothing, just for the people in the chat, or people that are there, nobody in the chat, sorry guys, unless you're gonna, I don't know how you come to my birthday party. Robert Downey Jr. will be there, and we'll reenact Tropic Thunder together. Nick, you can be Danny McBride. Dion, who are you gonna be? He's Jack Black.
From
Jack
the
So
Yeah,
Dion's
I'll
got
be
the
Jack Black.
drug problem.
Yep.
Dion's got the drug problem.
Yeah. I'll be Jay Baruchel, because I talk about
no, that'd be
type of
drugs. It could be. Listen, we could replace the vibes for whatever. It could be drugs. It could be vagina. I'm cool with that as being a thing.
shit. Nobody got laid in Tropic Thunder. That's the only fault with that movie.
It's true.
All right, Kendo, we have a super
Yeah.
a member.
But
pro-
the dude got Jennifer Love, or not Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
That's why I picked Jay Baruchel.
Yep.
So I'll be Kevin Sandusky since I live in Ohio. So Georgian, member for 31 months, says, Coach Kendo, I'm coming to Vegas in November, not for Formula One, and I want to rent a car to take a day trip to Pahrump, not the brothel. Pay respects to Art Bell. How bad is the traffic in Vegas? Instagram reels show the lunacy.
It really truly depends on what time of day. So if you land at McCarran on Friday at like 4 in the afternoon and rent a car, traffic is going to be a pain in the ass. But if you come in on like Tuesday no, traffic would still be okay. So traffic sucks anywhere around the strip, anytime between rush hour in the morning and rush hour in the afternoon during the week. Weekend traffic is just retarded every which way you cut it. The further you get away from the strip and downtown on the highways, it's not too bad. If you're on like the Beltway or doing any like excursions up and down some of the main thoroughfares like Craig or Rancho or Vegas Boulevard or anything like that, yeah, essentially it's a city of 2 million people that should have about half that in it. I wish I could stand there, snap half of them away, but I can't. But yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Just it really all depends on what time you get there and how quickly you can get out of the airport and to the Beltway. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it, but if you get off at McCarran and you're going to Pahrump, yeah, you should be able to get out of there, get south, and I know traffic is. That's how I feel about it too. A bunch of laughing, joking numbnuts out there on the road, and yeah, dude. If you're going to, I was gonna say, if you go to Pahrump, you should be able to go south out of McCarran onto the Beltway and be able to cut around and get. I don't remember what the number of that road is to get out of there, and you could avoid probably most of it. So, as long as you can get out as quick as possible, you should be okay, and not during rush hour.
That's why I need to get you a helicopter, Kendo, so you can do news and traffic.
Dude,
live from the
I would. Yes, if we could get me a helicopter, specifically a Huey with a 50 cal on the door, I will gladly spend time hanging out there, or even an M60, to just flying around, giving traffic reports. Be like, this road right here is blocked. Let me unblock it, and then I go to prison.
I love it, folks. After we get Dion's internet fixed, we're going to get Kendo a helicopter with a laser beam on the side. So he can just cut through it literally. Disappear. Now, folks in the chat, we're going to have you look and pick 3 movies. But tonight we're going to do this a little differently. I'm going to wait till Dion gets back so we can announce it. But we're going to essentially try to figure out each other's movies. It's not just going to be, these are my favorite. I need to guess Nick's. Nick needs to guess mine and everybody else's. And folks in the chat, you can guess what we're going to pick too. What's on the line? Pride. And this gift card to Quiznos from 2006. It's actually an old Costco membership. I'll get one later, but you get my point. Shout out to you, Matt West. Thank you very much. Great name in the chat. Dildo Shaggins. That's just a very funny name. We also had somebody that had a great parody version of not Tropic Thunder, of Natalie Portman. It was Natalie Portman in V for Vajayjay, an Axel Braun picture. So that'll be coming out quite soon, Carmel Wolf. Thank you very much for that as well. So it's weird that everyone's here, but I'm the only one here right now. So, folks, let me read some of your film titles. Enrique, you have excellent choices. Matt
I'm
West,
here.
you have excellent choices. Oh, you're here, okay. Because Nick ordered like 2 large pizzas. He's eating just the cheese off the top. And I guess Dion's grabbing another beer. Or the football game has caused him to go into a diabetic coma.
It's really good cheese. It's really good cheese.
I'm just on my phone because I rushed home as quick as I could and did not have time to change. And I'm wearing my work polo, so I'm like, I don't want to be on camera in that.
You know, you can always just be on your computer and not on camera. It's okay. Your extravagant new living room with the fireplace that goes up and down with the mirrors on the ceiling, it's okay. The audience doesn't need to see that. You have a hot tub in your living room and you watch HBO Max in a hot tub, like Biff and Back to the Future 2.
We will return to the fancy living room next week. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get myself a fancy living room set up too. Or I'll broadcast live from Miami. That's it. That's what's
There
up.
you go. There you go.
Oh, I like Enrique. He's trying to guess our favorite movies. He's trying to guess Nick's. It's gonna be a fun one. As soon as Dion steps back into the fray, we'll give you that. I'm sad though. We did not get any of our goals for our new button, so we'll have to table those for next week. But who knows? Also, I do have a fun one for our next super chat that rolls in. It's for Kendo and Nick, or Kendo and Dion. I enjoy it too, but it's a wrestling related one. Let's see, Adama likes Breakfast Club, Back to the Future, and Ghostbusters. Those are excellent movie choices. Goonies, Gremlins, and Neverending Story. I always think of Lamar and his terrible haircut. Empire Strikes Back, Rocky, and Back to the Future. Always good choices. Rocky 4 is not my least favorite, but it's my second least favorite of the original Rocky movies. I like Rocky 3, I love Rocky 2, and I love Rocky 1. But Rocky 5, man, that movie sucks. Anybody else in the chat hate Rocky 5? Press 1 right now.
Rocky 5 doesn't exist.
Time of the Machine Gun.
Didn't he die of AIDS?
Yes, he did.
I thought so. All right, we got other people that hate Rocky 5. TLJ Screwjob loves Rocky 5. That's what a 2 stands for here on the channel. All right, so Dion, let me re-announce this officially since you're back. We're going to pick 3 of our own movies, but we're not going to announce it. The game tonight is to try to guess each other's 3 movies, and he who gets the highest points will win something. So take a look at this right here. I'm not going to read every damn movie, but can you guys read this, or do you need me to send it to you so you can see it bigger?
I can
see it.
I've got it. I've got it.
All right, so we're going to do one scroll through right now. Now, which of you guys would like to go first in guessing?
Ooh. Yep, I got it.
All right, Dion. Then we're going to go this way. I want you to guess, out of these movies, what are Kendo's top 3 choices?
Oh, what are Kendo's top 3?
You have to guess all of ours, because we're going to see who knows each other the best.
Oh, so I want to give 6 possible answers right here.
No, you want to pick of these. You want to say Kendo's favorite movies are Short Circuit, Dirty Dancing, and Heathers, or something like that. Like, pick the 3 that you think are Kendo's favorites.
Gotcha. Yeah, what I said. Kendo's top 3 are Top Gun, Coming to America, and Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, now what do you think for Nick?
Nick is Child's Play, Beetlejuice, and Nick Child's Play, Beetlejuice, and top 3 for Nick. Ryan, top 3. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
All right. Me.
Oh my god! Only guy.
I don't think you're gonna get all mine right.
I'm gonna fucking hang out with this dude. I want to hang out with this dude. Oh my god, yeah. Since I was a young adult, Back to the Future, Empire Strikes Back, and Raiders. Tell me I'm right later.
Let's see. Okay, and Raiders. Rotla. Got it. Okay, I'm making a note of this. Kendo, what do you got for Dion?
For Dion, I got Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, he cut out at Empire Strikes Back. All right, while Kendo's out, Nick,
No.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes
Oh.
Back. Hang on, I was looking at the bigger one on the on my other screen. For Dion, I got Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Coming to. Oh wait, no. Do I want to say Tron or Blade Runner? Oh, I'm just going to go Coming to America. Let's just stay the course. Stay the course.
Coming to America. Okay. What do you got for Nick?
Nick, the Goons. I mean the Gooners. I mean Goonies. He's got the. I'm gonna give him Goonies. Fuck. Ghostbusters. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
And let's see. He does seem like a Purple Rain type, but I'm gonna go Lost Boys.
All right. And what do you got for me?
For you, Back to the Future, Raiders, and Weird Science.
It is a good movie. All right, Nick. What do you got for Dion?
Let's see. Dion, I got Pretty in Pink.
Shit, I should have went there.
Heathers and Dirty Dancing.
You pegged him good.
It sounds like he gets pegged with movies like that.
I don't peg anybody. I don't peg anybody.
Hey, there was no judgment in that.
Nope, no pegging going on at all.
All right, what do you got for Kendo?
Kendo has Top Gun, probably Stand By Me, and Raiders.
Okay, and what do you got for me?
Beetlejuice, Coming to America, and Raiders.
All right. So now I'm up. I'm gonna give. Let me pull this up because it's easier to write it than it is to do this. So for Dion, I'm gonna give him Empire. I'm gonna give him Coming to America, and I'm gonna give him Tron. Kendo, I'm gonna give him Top Gun. I'll give him Empire, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say The Outsiders. And for Nick, I'm gonna go Goonies because that's obvious. I'll go Beetlejuice, and I'll go Lost Boys. All right, guys. So now that we've all gone, let's see if anyone's gonna guess our favorites. Hey, I didn't make this list, Jose. This is just something I found. It's funny. Everybody keeps thinking they got mine down. Nobody got them all right. Like, nobody. Not any of the guys on the show, nobody in the chat. Everybody keeps assuming that they know my movies when it's on this list, but you didn't get it right. So, Dion, what were your actual three?
So my actual three for sure. Raiders, Back to the Future, and it was Coming to America. I
got two of the three.
I wanted to go with Blade Runner, but in the 80s, I'm picking. I love Blade. I fucking love.
God damn it! Really? No, Pretty in Pink and Heathers. Come on now, that's bullshit.
All right, Kendo, what are your actual three?
I thought this when I saw this, I was like, "This is a gimme." Stop it! I was like, "There's no way they can't not get this right." But Top Gun, obviously, Back to the Future, and Ghostbusters.
All right, and Ghostbusters. Nick.
Why didn't say Ghostbusters? Duh.
Hey, no joke. Mine are. Let's see. Mine are Evil Dead, Goonies, and Tron.
And mine are Back to the Future, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Beetlejuice. I don't like coming. Look, I love Coming to America, but the thing that I always say is the three best movies of the year that I was born are Die Hard, Beetlejuice, then Coming to America. Like, you can't see it, folks, but on this portion of the wall, there are Beetlejuice figures. Everyone from Adam and Barbara Maitland to Beetlejuice himself. There's a doll I paid way too much money for. I love Beetlejuice. Now, Child's Play, I don't even know where
motherfucker.
I know, right? But look, I own Coming to America on 4K. I own Beetlejuice on 4K. If Coming to America got re-released, I would go see it in theaters. So I love it. It's hard. If it was like top 5, Coming to America would be in the top 5. I think Weird Science... It's weird that The Empire Strikes Back didn't make my list, but that's okay. So, we know each other pretty well. I think we know 2/3 of our...
Who won?
Nobody got 100. The closest would be... shit, that's going to take me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me look at the paper.
Talking amongst ourselves here, because I think I should have probably scored the most points there. And that way I can be the winner and tell you all to suck it.
Well, you got 2/3 of Dion's right.
Yeah.
You got 2/3 of Nick's right. No, you didn't. You got 1/3 of Nick's right. And you got 2/3 of mine right.
Yeah. Well, Nick's the outlier because he's a fucking weirdo.
So?
Aren't we all weird?
You're hard to pin down on these things.
Our winner is CEF9. He got all of Kendo's movies correct.
Again, anybody that's listened to this podcast for more than like 5 minutes should have been able to look at that list and be like, yeah, I know exactly what Kendo is going to pick as his 3 favorite of those to watch, movies. Because, yeah, I mean, clearly it's not The Breakfast Club or E.T. or The Fly. Evil Dead's good. Big, it's okay. But yeah, they had to be like, oh, look, that upper left quadrant, that's all him right there. Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Top Gun. Empire and Raiders could throw people off, though.
Ghostbusters would have been on my list had I not done the book, but like after doing that book and all that shit, I tried to watch Ghostbusters once and I turned it off. I was into it and I was watching. I was like, I don't need to watch Ghostbusters anymore. I kind of like ruined it for myself. So Ghostbusters is off of any list for me right now. It needs time to heal. It's like Joe Burrow. It's out with turf toe. So maybe in 3 years I'll watch Ghostbusters. Like, that's not a joke either, Dion. Seriously, I was in there riding the bike, watching the 4K. I was like, here we go, Ghostbusters. And I'm just like, I ain't feeling this movie anymore. So sorry, folks. I did it to myself. Weird Science is great, though, Dildo Shaggins. I love that movie.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Star Wars. Like, I can't watch any of the old ones at all anymore because it's all been ruined. So
I can still do A New Hope and Empire. I just don't really want to watch them anymore. I also reached the point where if I can quote the lines of dialogue, I know the sound effects and the musical cues, maybe it's time to watch something else. Like reruns of Dallas.
Why go that far?
I've never seen Dallas, so.
Well, you're not missing much.
I didn't think I was. Enrique says you should do bracket battle for these movies. We are bringing back, or not? We're not bringing back. We are doing bracket battle. Don't worry. As you can see, folks, I took the time off from the High Council. It's no longer the High Council anymore. It's just a Tuesday night primetime show. But we have a new intro for that. We have a new style for videos in terms of beefing up the content. Watch today's video and you'll understand why. And then you'll see some new toy-based content as we want to grow our channel to 250K and then get to that 1 million. I'm not stopping until we get there. So Bracket Battle will be here in October. We also have a new permanent co-host on the Tuesday night show. Aaron's joining us, so he'll be there each and every week, and we'll be getting new guests in. We'll probably do the 4 of us and a guest. I'm going to shoot for every week. I got a couple names on my short list, and I want to bring those guys in very soon. But Bracket Battle is an October launch. I got a lot on my plate. I got to eat slowly so I don't get sick, but we're almost there to Bracket Battle. Probably going to be a Wednesday or a Saturday. I got to figure out what scheduling works for the most people. Let's see. Somebody was talking about the Weird Science being based on a comic book. Yeah, I love Weird Science, the movie and the EC comics. Dude, I have the trade paperbacks in my office.
Absolutely love Weird Science. That's one of the movies I think that was on, like whenever it was on TBS, when TBS would show it all the time, I would always watch it when whatever part it was on. It was so much fun.
Like I told you, dude, you got to watch the deleted opening because Gary and Wyatt are horror.
I think you said it's on the Arrow release.
Yep.
I think I have that. I think I've got that from a used disc store or something. I need to check that the copy I got. If not, I need to acquire that copy then.
Sexy.
I just need to watch the movie again because I have not watched the Weird Science since probably the 20th century. It's been that long since I watched that movie.
Wow. All right, it's just a lot of fun, man. It's just like
it is.
You know.
I like I said, I've watched it. I really liked it, but it's probably been since 1999 since I've seen it, at least.
Oh, so the last year the world was
Damn.
good. Got it. Or should I say the best year on record, at least for movies. Somebody was
Agreed.
having a debate with me. They're
1999,
like, "It's
forever.
1984." I'm like, "No, it's 1999." Because I get it that you like
Yep.
Ghostbusters and Gremlins. I do too. But even the mid-level movies of 1999, like Election, like shit like
Holy
that,
shit.
it's like they're really good movies. Like your schlocky films from 1984 are fun, but even like your mid-level forgettable films that you're like, oh wait, Blast from the Past, that was actually really good, or The Mummy, which is great. Like 99 is just the year for films.
99 was fucking awesome. The Matrix.
Matrix is the best one.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite writers, Jason Pargin, like made some video about 1982 being like, rivaling kind of rivaling a little bit 1999.
Yeah, well, 82's got that iconic summer of The Thing and E.T. and Blade Runner, like back to back to back weekends, or one weekend or something like that.
Yeah,
Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But, dude, I bought the physical copy and listened to it on Audible. Best movie year ever, the one about 1999.
Yeah,
Like-
I got that book as well too, and I listened to it. Yeah, and it's like the things, the behind the scenes stuff that you hear in that book are amazing. Especially the whole story of like the beginning part of that book and the end of the part of that book where I think they mess with Brad Pitt or something
at the hotel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That whole thing is hilarious. It's so much fun.
No, I don't mean The Mummy as a mid-movie. I mean, there were bigger budgeted films in 1999. I mean, like mid-tier box off, like money-wise.
Damn, we saw The Mummy in theaters in 99.
Same
Diane
here.
had to remind me of that shit when we saw it last year for the anniversary. I was like, dude, we did see this shit in theaters. Like, that shit was fucking crazy. Because The Matrix was 1999. That was the best. That was the best spring break that I ever had, was in 1999.
Dude, I started driving in 1999, so I went to a shitload of movies because it was always, hey, I got a shitty job that pays me $5 an hour and I can drive. Hey guys, let's go to the movies.
Oh god, that was let's see, 99 was, I think that's when they began the where at the movie theater they would have some like pimple-faced teenager watching you for the radar movie, making sure that you were of age and got in there and you weren't sneaking in and shit. I think that's when that started.
Hey, look I pulled up a list. You got stuff like Eyes Wide Shut, The Iron Giant, Toy Story 2, Tarzan, South Park, American Beauty, Green Mile, American Pie, The Sixth Sense, Fight Club. Being John Malkovich, I like that movie too. Then there's episodes.
It's a fun movie.
Whatever.
It's all right.
What else came out that year? Notting Hill, The World Is Not Enough, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. I think that's the best Austin Powers movie.
Yep. It is.
It was just like movie after like Man on the Moon, The Hurricane, Boys Don't Cry, Girl Interrupted. I like stuff like Blast from the Past. It just honestly
wasn't Sixth Sense also 99?
Yes, sir. It was.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. The most.
And then
one
TV
of the most,
in 1999 was fucking crazy. Pro wrestling was white hot in 1999.
Wrestling was great in 99, minus them murdering Owen Hart.
That was dark. That was sad.
Oh, yeah, that was 99. Damn.
May. R.I.P. Owen Hart.
Oh, R.I.P. To this day, it pisses me off because that dude would have been a great champion. I fucking
yes.
Now, I've always wondered though, because the year 2000 is my personal favorite year. I wonder how the year 2000 would have been with an Owen Hart because he didn't really fit with a lot of the Attitude Era guys after a certain point. Kind of like how the British Bulldog came back in 99, and you're like, you're a relic of a bygone era. I think by that point, like the next year, you would have Triple H take the spot. Mick Foley was already the guy up there with the Rock, and
he
Undertaker
wouldn't have
and all
been
these other guys.
champion because he would have had to come out of the Blue Thunder thing. So he would. My thing was he probably would have been. So who was Intercontinental? Who was in the Intercontinental Championship at that time?
Beginning or end of the year?
Beginning.
Oh God! Like I think Road Dogg or Billy Gunn held it at WrestleMania. One of those guys. D'Lo was champion for a minute. Who else? God,
Owen would have fucking been for sure prime in the beginning, and at the end, at the very least, if he's not putting someone over for Intercontinental, he's at least because at 99, yeah, so he's probably still behind Jericho in late 99.
Yeah, because Jericho was new, but he was white hot when he first showed up.
Because he was what, August?
Yep, exactly.
Yep. So he would have been right behind Jericho. I mean, but yeah, Mick Foley was just so beloved.
Regardless, just imagine the matches he could have had with Jericho and the Radicals and all that shit.
Oh my God, dude.
Eddie Guerrero versus Owen Hart would have been amazing.
That's a Hall of Fame match, right?
Would have tore the house down.
You know, Dildo Shaggins, I asked myself the same question. YouTube algorithm. I don't like it either. But we're going to keep pushing forward.
Yep.
Guys, well, since we brought up wrestling in 99 and all that, WrestlePalooza happened over the weekend. And I'm not going to give a full review because our audience doesn't really care that much. But this is the show that kind of broke the illusion for a lot of people. Wrestling has become way more corporate than it ever has been. It's all about the money. And not like how Vince used to say it as a joke. It's literally all about how much you can pay to get how little they can give you. And so this weekend was the first pay-per-view, PLE, on, I'm going to call it pay-per-view because you're paying $30 for a streaming service to literally watch one thing. This was the first time they've done it. They did their ESPN show, WrestlePalooza, live from Indianapolis, and the show was not very good. Now, you'd think that the people at ESPN would blindly praise this show, but it turns out that they had an honest journalist in the year 2025, and they gave the show a C rating. I want to know what you guys think about the whole C rating controversy about WrestlePalooza.
Kendo, feel free to let me know if I'm wrong, but this is probably the first live sporting event that ESPN has been accurate on in the last, 2025? At the very least, in the last 10 years. Typically, ESPN is very pro-company man, and they do not shake the boat. They do not rock the boat, rather. Whether it be college football, the UFC, NFL, whatever, ESPN will break something if they've got irresputable proof, but rating things, they're soft as baby shit. So this is the first time. I don't know if this dude did it on purpose or what, but it amazed me that they let that happen. That being said, I agree with ESPN. Outside of the women's world title match, and I enjoyed the WWE title match. I think it definitely ended up being good because I'm a big Drew guy. He's a good workhorse. And I'll even say the mixed tag match was fun. Everything else was not even mid. As the kids say, it was. I would say a C. While I honestly would say a C plus, but ESPN, they were, for the first time in a long time, they were pretty damn accurate here.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it probably goes further back than 10 years. I've been slightly disturbed by the fact that when I go to ESPN's website to look shit up, I see wrestling content on there because I'm like, I get that it's weird because it's like these are two very different, like they cover sports. Wrestling is athleticism involved, but it's not sports in the competitive sense of what sports are. But yes, to your point, I also was wildly shocked. Yes, I see you have chips. Wildly shocked that they were so honest in their critique of WrestlePalooza because, as you said, they are very much the toe the party line, play with kid gloves on things that they have a vested interest in. This is the company that lost the rights to the NHL like 20 something years ago and essentially stopped acting like that was a sport because they were that butthurt. And you would get zero coverage on hockey until they got it back a couple years ago. And then they acted like, hey, it never went away and that this is the greatest thing of all time and that this sport you have to watch. It's like, yeah, we were watching it, just not on ESPN. But yeah, it's refreshing. And I'm kind of hoping that it's maybe this journalist was like, I'm offended I have to cover WWF, WWE, sports entertainment, wrestling as a legitimate sports journalist, because that hopefully they feel insulted by that, because that's just it doesn't mix, and I don't like that those worlds have collided. But at somewhere, I know Vince has creamed his jeans over the fact that he's getting mainstream coverage of. Well, I mean, he's not, but his company he used to own and run is getting mainstream coverage as a legitimate, sporting venture instead of the carny shit that it is.
Vince is not creaming his jeans; he's shitting his pants.
He's shitting in somebody else's pants.
Now, I guess a C is fair, but Dion, I think you were the one that said the mixed tag match was good. I thought that motherfucker was way too long. Like, I don't.
It did go on long, yeah.
Any criticisms I have of CM Punk are no longer based in I met him and he was a dick. That's in the past. That being said, AJ was rusty. To act like she, put on this great match, that match went on about 10 minutes too long. And I don't like Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. They have X-Pac heat with me. Not, they're the heels, you're supposed to hate them. Like, I don't watch wrestling. Like, I watch Raw, but the way I watch Raw now is I will wait 2 hours until the show's over, essentially. And I will fast forward. It was a 30-minute promo. I text you guys this week. It was 30 minutes of talking before a single match happened. I never need to hear Seth Rollins talk again, and the people that do that fucking singing can stop. It's like 20-minute intros don't need to be a thing. We're living this era where it's so... People think it's better than it ever has been, and it's less than it ever has been. This show had 5 matches on it. It was like a 3-hour show. They used to do 8 matches on a 2-hour and 40-minute show, and it felt like you got what you paid for. I remember as a kid getting to order SummerSlam 01. I was so excited to watch it. And you had title matches, you had a cage match, you had you had a ladder match. Like, it was a fucking insane show. They promoted this like this was the second coming of wrestling. There's WrestleMania and WrestlePalooza is right beneath it. And you get the show, and by the way, I used a VPN because Stephanie McMahon told me to, and I always listen to what women tell me to do. But it was the greatest thing because I logged into my VPN, I cast the thing onto the TV, I had a full HD stream, and I didn't pay my $30 a month. So I can watch these shows without giving the beast any more money because I'm going to keep Netflix for other reasons. Good. But it was so boring. I'm sitting there, I made a steak dinner. I was enjoying my day off from stealing solo. I was like, here we go. This is going to be a great day. The steak was perfect. Everything was great. And the show sucked ass. And then Raw sucked ass. And now WrestleMania tickets came out and they're $16,000 and they suck ass too. Every week, I want wrestling to die a little more. And it's not just WWE that I wanted to die. It's like all their ancillary podcasts. Like The Undertaker. Did you hear his quote this week? If you don't like my show with my wife, you can just watch something else. It's like, fuck you, dude. You've become a bigger bitch than I ever thought you were, Mr. I'm afraid of cucumbers. Here's the problem with a lot of the modern age of wrestling. I'm losing respect for the people, and you can't get it back. Like, every time I hear them pimp themselves out for Saudi Arabia, I lose respect for them. Every time I see them do some bullshit commercial or put another ad sponsor on the ring mat, this isn't boxing, this isn't UFC, this is not a real sport. That's what WWE needs to stop acting like. We're sports entertainment, so we don't have to pay taxes. Cool. I liked how Vince did business. It was sports entertainment. Now they're on ESPN. They think they're a real fucking sport. But it's really fucking boring to sit there and watch LA Knight be a referee. Or it's really boring to see Jey Uso not be able to wrestle because he's not that good. It's just, ever since the Netflix era started, this is 2010 bad. This is 2013 boring. Like, I'll take John Cena winning every match for 2 years straight over whatever the fuck this is today. Because
I don't know about rough. That. That's crazy.
I will.
I think you have forgotten how bad that era was. You and I were there. You and I were spending money. That Dion, part is. I think you've just been hurt before, and you haven't processed through that hurt.
I can't watch this though. Like, nowadays, I'm just like, Raw or SmackDown's coming to town next Friday, and they have $30 tickets. I would rather go eat dinner instead of going to a SmackDown. Like, anything seems more appealing to me.
I would never
Cody
say
Rhodes.
That. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that, buddy.
I will, because it's. Like,
I would.
I don't like Cody Rhodes, and every week I'll say that he's boring as shit. So he's the main draw of SmackDown. I don't want to watch him do a Cody Cutter or bounce off the ropes or give a shit promo with his lisp. I don't want to watch that guy. And on Raw, I don't want to watch. Where the fuck is Gunther? Is like whatever happened to him? Is he injured? Is he gone? Like
on vacation.
Oh, stop that shit too. These vacations. I get it that they're humans and you want to treat these guys and their bodies and all that stuff. I get that. I understand it. But like, you're a weekly television show. When your champion just leaves, like Roman Reigns, I looked at a statistic. He has wrestled 11 times since Triple H took over, since WrestleMania 40. 11 matches. That's it. In 2 years. That's fucking ridiculous. This booking of, we got to let the guys go off and then they come back and then they go off and they come back. Where's the consistency? Folks, if you were going to pick up a comic book, like let's say Batman, and Batman was only in every 10 issues, would you keep reading the book? No, you wouldn't, because you want the big deal. You want the main event draw. They're not booking guys like Drew McIntyre to be a main event draw, so we're going to get stuck with watching the good wrestlers lose to shit wrestlers, and it's garbage. It is a C.
You're halfway there, and that's
I'm living on a prayer.
You are not living on a prayer. You are Jack and Diane for sure to me, young sir. But that's that Midwest flavor. I think
you have the same seasoning.
He was just left in the oven a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's
for sure.
It's slightly cold.
Listen, I think you're right there. I literally do feel that it is because Vince abused and was at war with his audience for so long that by default they're combative to the product. That all being said, and I understand that all being said, the issue is not the wrestling. I do believe the wrestling has been the best that it's ever been. But also having Roman Reigns only wrestling 11 times, that's not cool. Gunther being gone, and right now, Gunther having to he didn't put him over, but having Gunther deal with Goldberg and having Gunther having to, go through the shit with Jay. That's not great. And I will also agree with, yes, WrestlePalooza, if you want it to be the thing, you can't have 5 matches where your Tom Brady that you're saying is Tom Brady is losing like that. That all being said, the other part of what you said, the only thing you get that kind of consistency in is a sport. So as a dude who, right now, Devin's really into it. Hillary was there when you and I were watching in college, but she was really tolerating it because I liked it. Hillary's actually gotten into it. Watching that part of the fandom develop. The only way you get that fucking consistency is in a sport. They got off seasons and it's constant, and they live and die by it being good. At the same time, because we don't have that, and this is why the WWE and TKO specifically is struggling, is you have a thing that you control from beginning to end. You control who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, who wins, who loses. Things are marquee if you show them to be marquee. WrestlePalooza fucked up because if it's next to WrestleMania and we're doing the John Cena thing, yes, he can lose to Brock Lesnar, but you can't say that he's the GOAT and have him get mauled, while at the same time, you've got your WWE champion who eats his fucking peanut butter and jelly, but at the same time, he's like, oh, fuck, I got a concussion. They don't understand the product. And even though it's still the wrestler, I do like Seth a lot. I think he's doing very well, but they don't understand the product. And we're still in that weird combination of a corporation, instead of it being Vince's corporation, who he fucked up on his own. Now we have an actual corporation who doesn't understand pro wrestling. And we're still, again, and that's why, even though it's good somewhat, we're still in that weird spot. And it's frustrating but that's not because the wrestling itself is bad. I do think this is the greatest roster that we've seen in WWE's history, top to bottom. I do believe that.
See,
But
I watched an episode of SmackDown this morning, and I was blown. It was from 2001. The opening match was William Regal and Kurt Angle versus Edge and somebody else, and I was like, okay, what a good opener. Like, every match had a big star in it, and I won't agree that this is the best roster, because if you were to name me 20 people on the roster, I can basically tell you a time when I think that there's a better roster, because like I may like Drew McIntyre.
But that's how the NFL works. You're experiencing what NFL fans have had to deal with. Like we have, for every great player that we have now, you can say 10 guys because the level is so
low for today.
It's so big, right? Because the NFL's been on for so long. College football is another thing. You can have that same conversation. Kendo and I could probably do a whole show about the best just on college quarterbacks, because it's 160 or 157 years of it. Wrestling has finally been, after being the wilderness, it's fucking here now. And that's the only reason I disagree, is because now wrestling, even though we've known that it's been the NFL forever, now it's like corporate NFL. But it's a weird place to be.
Because, like, for every Cody, like, I would never say that this is the best era of wrestling, because you're stuck with a guy like Cody Rhodes. He's not Stone Cold. He's not The Rock. He's not The Undertaker or Triple H or Mankind. All those guys.
He's Tom Brady.
No, he's not. Because Tom Brady, the thing is, wrestling isn't for sports, because wrestling is predetermined and booked. Tom Brady, you could say sporting is fake and whatever, but he actually won those games. Cody Rhodes,
his defense did a lot of heavy work.
But all I'm saying is, people in the back say that Cody Rhodes is going to win. Nobody, like, it's not a comparable thing, because it's, when I say like great roster, I'm talking great matches, star power, an aura, a hype around the show. This SmackDown that I watched from December of 2001 had more hype and excitement than like WrestlePalooza, WrestleMania, anything. Like, I can pick shows from 25 years ago, 20 years ago, and put them up against their biggest shows today, and they pale in comparison today, because everything's about a fucking commercial, a promo, an ad, a stop spot. I mean, this year's WrestleMania literally had Travis Scott give a 6-minute introduction during the main event of WrestleMania. You know what the year that I watched 2001's main event was? Rock Stone Cold, where Vince comes out. We're not, like, they just can't book it right, because they have other masters to answer to. Back then they were public, they were on the New York Stock Exchange, and they had stock holders to answer to. But now it's TKO and the Saudis and this sponsorship and that sponsorship and this one and that one, and it's not even like wrestling anymore. It's what people that were writing, like, it's what a movie would think wrestling actually is, because they think it's a real sport, they think it's this, they think it's that, and when I watch it, I go, what the fuck is happening? And I find myself fast forwarding through shit. Everybody's got a stupid gimmick today. Now Bayley talks to herself because she's crazy. Okay, can you just like win a fucking match and like be normal again? It's not. They've lost me. That's it. They've lost me. I try to watch it,
and you're not. And again, the only reason why I'm disagreeing in name is because 10 years ago. The NFL was dealing with, again, we all know what the NFL is today, right? It's the NFL, right? But there was a time where Monday Night Football was getting the lowest ratings it was ever getting. So like when we were in college, 2010, 2011, they were getting the lowest ratings ever. At the same time, you had at that time a roster of the greatest quarterbacks in the time period, and it's the same conflict where you've got the best names and the aura's fucked up, but it's still doing well. And that came because the NFL was like, yo, we have football, we'll just put games out there you're gonna watch because you love football. And it took it took about until 2014, 2015 when the NFL gave a shit about Monday Night Football. I want to use Monday Night Football as another example, because Monday Night Football used to be on ABC. And then that time period when it was very bad, it was on ESPN. And it was at the time one of ESPN's most watched shows, but it was also the lowest Monday Night Football had seen in terms of total viewership of all time. So you have those weird ebbs and flows when the roster is good, but the presentation is bad. And that's the only reason I disagree is because right now, TKO, they legitimately thought that they would buy the UFC, buy WWE, and just put it on TV and we're going to watch. And they're going through the same thing the NFL went through. They go through the same, well, the NBA goes through it multiple times because idiots run the NBA all the time. But the same shit happens. The NBA is going through it right now. It was right before the decision. The NBA was dealing with it back then, where people weren't watching weekday games. So that's the only reason, because this shit, we're watching the first real corporation-owned wrestling. Vince was just an albatross genius asshole, where he would come up with a great idea and then immediately start fighting with his audience. You have to remember, you're part of I still say a sport, you're part of a sport where it's the only sport where the owner was fighting his fan base for generations and got away with it. No other sport dealt with that. No other sport dealt with that. That's the only reason I disagree, is because wrestling is this very weird thing in its own ecosystem.
Well, I'm interested to see WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. Like, that's the show I think is going to be nuts. For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I think we're dealing with right now the time period where the NFL, they're back to it again now. But when they were first flirting with international games, and they learned very hard that it's just a different thing. And I think the WWE is going to have a worse reaction to WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia than the NFL did when they were first trying to go to Europe, 7 years ago. I think WWE has, they want the money, and TKO wants the money, and they're misjudging that market hugely.
Well, the NFL is also now balls deep and going to Europe, and it's a huge payday for them as well. And it's, now trying to get into South America and everything too. So the NFL persevered because they were just persistent, and it worked out. And they're also sending marquee teams over there to play now. It's not to what you were alluding to earlier about the NFL going through Monday Night Football. That was also during the heyday of, like, every team got at least one Monday night game a year or some shit like that to try to drive viewership. And it's like, nobody wants to watch fucking Jacksonville play Buffalo. And that's what crushed a lot of the ratings. And the NFL's course corrected, because I think they started, was it a couple years ago, they started saying, not everybody's going to be on prime time anymore, because nobody really, really cares about watching Cleveland play against the Chargers. So, yeah, they've fixed that, but they've persevered. Where the WWE is going to be wrong is the NFL was a niche audience, but it has grown. WWE is also a niche audience. The problem is their niche is even smaller. Like, they literally have a smaller percentage of the people that like it. They would be better served. And I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe the people of Saudi Arabia think it's actually fucking real, like the people of fucking Southeast Asia do. So they would be better sending WrestleMania to, like, India or Japan or something like that, where they think the shit's real. Well, Japan, they're in on it. They know what's up, but they treat it like it's real. So that would be better for them. But then again, maybe Saudi Arabia, maybe the people there think they're actually watching real fighting take place. I don't know.
India, they wouldn't make any money.
No, they wouldn't. They really wouldn't, because they would. Well, nobody paid money to go to the actual ring. All that would happen is one person would buy it on Peacock, and then they'd post the username and password to their WhatsApp to the entire country.
And there'd be 5,000 people in their apartment.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened.
Which would be 4,000 more than normal.
That being said, if I was a young athlete the two markets I'd want to be in, obviously outside the U.S., would be Latin America, Mexico, and India. India right now, you're not wrong in terms of having an event there, but those beautiful brown sons of bitches in India and Pakistan, they watch stuff. So I don't. That's the issue: is how do you maximize that part without having to put their asses in the seats?
I think the issue there is instead of working in America and earning dollars, I'm in India. We're earning rupees, and $1 million contract and $1 million rupee contract are two very fucking different things.
That's very true.
Yeah, but they didn't kept cricket afloat for the last 20 years.
That's 100% different, though.
Yeah. Also, they okay. I remember like once again pre-COVID or even before that, there was cricket matches were 6 hours, 6 fucking hours long. All right, they had to invent
better than the 5-day test matches.
100%. They had to invent a new cricket that was like fast-paced and awesome. That was like really that was like almost half that, or even like a third of that. And more people watched it, and they pay more money for it. In fact, there was a whole bidding war between Disney and Sony that happened about 3 or 4 years ago, where they wanted that market because it was worth $5 or $6 billion. There was that, but you
can watch the Indian Premier League cricket on ESPN because I've done that.
Yeah, and like once again, I want to put in my 2 cents about being a casual wrestling fan. A couple of years ago, my brother wanted to go to our friend's place in Chattanooga and watch wrestling for 2 days. We got inebriated on several things and ate good food and like watched the whole thing. But like, we mainly talked because there was more fluff and commercials than anything else, and it was like, okay, it was okay. We watched a couple matches, but they were the same shit. It was like Roman Ramirez and like
Rogan Ramirez.
Rogan Ramirez and like those two, and Borg Laser like doing that bullshit, which like they've done that match so many times. And it's like it gets really boring. And then like I had the opportunity to go to a friend's house a few months ago, actually, probably a couple months ago, or even a month ago, and watch AEW. And it was really weird to not see any commercials, promos for the main event for like 5 minutes at max. And they actually did this thing where they actually wrestled. It was really weird to see.
I enjoy AEW.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I wasn't there all day. I was there for like 3 hours. And had drinks, had good food, with good people, and it was like, oh, this is how WWE was like 20 years ago or 15 years ago when they were just wrestling and they didn't really care about money too much. And I was like, I think what's going to happen is that if they do whatever the Saudi Arabia thing goes through and they own it, I think they're going to lose a lot of people. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to lose a lot of fans, and it's going to be even more advertising and even more of this stuff. And they might even go to a 3-day event for WrestleMania and try to sell more tickets and make it an even bigger event and stuff. And I think what's going to happen is people are going to shift to the AEWs and the TKOs and things like that, and really go back to wrestling.
They haven't counter-programmed wrestling like this in a while because AEW had their big show on Saturday night as well. And WWE threw WrestlePalooza together just so people wouldn't watch AEW All Out. And I have access to the WWE shit like already, so that's why I watched it. But I wish AEW could get their stuff together and really create competition, or at least an alternative to the point where it's like you can walk into a store and you can find like an AEW figure, and they're lesser than WWE, but that's cool. But like, you don't ever see people wearing AEW shirts out in public. You don't really see a lot of AEW, like their video game shit the bed. And they do a lot of dumb stuff too. But I can sit through good-natured, well-intentioned stupidity over corporate greed any day of the week. Because I can smell a commercial. Like, I've watched every WrestleMania not all of them more than once, but I've watched every WrestleMania. I've never, ever, besides this year, seen one start with a fucking commercial for a mobile game. Like, it literally started, and I don't mean like it was like sponsored by this and played an ad and started the show. The show started, they zoomed in on the stage, and they did a live commercial for an app. And this is what you're supposed to pay tens of thousands of dollars to see. Like, when we would go to wrestling, and, let's say, because we've all been to WrestleMania together. When we went to the one in New Orleans, it was pre-show, show, we fucking left. I've been to so many shows, it's just always a There's pre-show matches. There's great shows. They even do dark matches afterwards. Like, you leave content. I was so disappointed with the way they handle, like, every damn commercial. Every promo is like 6 minutes long, and it doesn't mean that I like hate their WWE shop ads. They've always had those, or like commercials with the wrestlers. I get all that shit, but the way it is now, where you got internet's personalities promoting their fucking drinks, and their friends are coming on, and their friends are in the video games. It's like they get NBA stars and put them in the games now. What the hell is this? Outside of Shaq or Mike Tyson, I don't want to see any other outside athlete in a wrestling game, or part of wrestling history, or part of their Hall of Fame, because those guys have either contributed to it or have been a part of it for so many times that, like Snoop Dogg. I don't want to see Snoop Dogg on wrestling, but him being a part of their Hall of Fame makes sense because he's been a figure in wrestling forever. But the way they just do it today, man, it has never been more of a turnoff. And like I said last week, they have become a turnoff to the point where I will intentionally not introduce it to the next generation in my family. It'll just be like a thing where if they see me watch wrestling, oh yeah, this is an old show from back in the day. But I'm not going to be taking kids to wrestling and doing all this shit until they get their shit together. I'm not going to reward them because you kind of screwed me out of WrestleMania. My friends and I aren't going to go spend $6,000 for a ticket. So that's it.
Yeah, and the fact that they lost you and essentially lost all of us because, I think the first time you were like, let's go to WrestleMania, and I was, you're just like, oh yeah, it's gonna cost us much, and we'll come pick you up. I was like, let's do it, and I was hesitant because like I'd never been, I didn't know what to expect, and you were kind of like guiding me. It's like, oh, this is what happens this day, this is what happens this day, and this is where this stuff is, and then the event's here, and the chairs are here, and we had like I think when we went to Orlando, which was my first time going, best fucking trip. It was so much fun. Such a great time, and it's funny because amongst my friends I grew up in Gallenberg with, I'm a casual, if not even a wrestling fan, but I can one up them because I've been to 2 WrestleManias and they haven't even been to 1. And both times, always again, gladly paid my money, happy to be with you guys. But the fact that they lost all of that because it would be an event, it'd be a trip, like. Jeff would ask us like 6 months in advance, hey, you going? Hey, you going? Hey, you going? So we can get their Airbnb together and get everything together and figure it all out. And the fact that doesn't happen anymore is, I think, a bigger message to them than they realize. The fact that they've lost that group, that people. I know what we spend is a drop in the bucket compared to them. But the fact that we'd rather all meet at Jeff's house and watch it, on his TV than actually go to the event, I think speaks volumes to where they are right now.
Well, that's not just wrestling, though. That's pro wrestling, college football, MMA, pro football, semi-pro football. Like, I think.
But wrestling's not a sport. That's the one thing, though. Wrestling's not a sport, and it's not that thing. It's like you can charge $20 to see a movie, for a movie ticket, but like you couldn't charge $20 for a ticket to go to a theater to watch an episode of like Iron Chef. That's they're not like, they might be physical things with athletic people who require a lot of demanding physical activity, but man, it's like they're not even the same beast.
Well, they follow the same model. It's the same. That's the only, like, I agree with that part, but it's concert tickets are going through that. Everyone is dealing with the people who own these institutions want to charge more for lower quality. There are few exceptions of, hey, we're charging these exorbitant prices and the product's been the best it's ever been. Listen, the NFL is probably the biggest it's ever been, and they're struggling because people will just watch at home. You're not giving us our money's worth. So that's the only reason I bring that up, is because everything live is going through this. This is less of a pro wrestling thing as it is more of an entertainment thing. Shit, movie theaters are going back to showing classic films because new movies, they're trying to like, hey, we're going to spend $250 million to make $2 billion. It's just the whole entertainment industry is trying to give us less for more. And it's
I just went and saw Batman Forever in theaters. 30 years after it came out.
Well, and I know somebody who works in that industry, and I've asked them. It's like because I was happy about October coming up because I think Regal and AMC are both doing like an October thing where like every day they show a new horror movie or an old one or whatever. And I've asked somebody who works there about that, and even they've said that doesn't bring anybody in. It doesn't bring in the numbers. Nobody really cares because like it for them to buy that or buy the rights for it for a day or two costs them nothing, but the return is equally nothing because nobody takes the time to go watch The Poltergeist or House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. Nobody cares about that stuff enough for it to move the needle for the theater. You know.
Well, it also doesn't help when they're charging current ticket prices for those movies because they re-released the Ninja Turtles movie here locally last month, and I was like, I'm going to take the kid to go see it. It's going to be awesome because I expect the tickets were like $5-6. No, they were like $14-15 movie tickets to go see that movie. I'm like, I'm not going to spend that much money to go watch a movie that A, I've seen a million times before, B, I've seen in theaters before, and C, I own on multiple formats and can watch at home. So it's like, I will pay the $10-15 for 2 tickets for me and him to get that experience. I'm not paying the $30-something to do it.
Yeah, and you're not you're not the only one, and that's and like in all honesty, for the entertainment stuff, you can blame the tech billionaires who thought it'd be fun to own movie studios, and then they realized they had to make a profit, and then that's because we're in this era right now because all these tech billionaires were like, it'd be fun if we owned Paramount Pictures or New Line Cinema, and then they're like, we have to make money with this, and then they started doing the shit we hate for the last like 25 years. So,
yeah, talking of these prices, our friend Darian's 217 sent in this nice super chat. Thank you, Darian. He says, "Hey Jeff, check out the screenshot I sent you on X. WWE prices day one presale for Mania next year. Speaking of Mania, you going next year? No, never again. Stormtrooper stare button."
So Jeff, for people who are listening and not watching this podcast, can you tell me the number on the screen?
To sit in this official platinum WWE seat, it is $38,419.20 before taxes.
That's crazy.
That is a nice car. Like, I get it. Everyone's like, everything's going up in price. Not to this same route.
Okay.
Like, wrestling fans will make excuses, but like, you can still get a nice car for $38,000. And it's not just a one-night thing. Or sorry, 2 nights. You get 9 hours of entertainment for $38,000. What the fuck has happened to people? Like, is it a pandemic? Is it something else? But like, people are fucking stupid if they buy into this shit. Fuck the
that's nothing, man. I promise you, and I assure you that next year for WrestleMania, I will be in Las Vegas.
Well, goddamn, you sell out.
Well, no, I think what's happening is because people people have that there's also that pay as you go shit as well. That'll break down whatever you buy into like small chunks over the next year or 20 years. We're going to pay this off. I think people have gotten to that, and the funny thing is, I think that happened this last year with some music festival, and all that happened was everybody who got in and was able to pay the ticket off over the next like 10 years complained because they had to camp, they had to buy their own food, they had to wait in line 2.5 hours to take a shower, and all this other stuff because they had watched their celebrities on TikTok and Instagram do it, and they got the nice $10,000 room, and they got the whole thing with their friends and VIP treatments and stuff like that, and that's why they were like, oh, if I do this, it'll be like that. No, it'll not be like that, and they got a big dose of reality, and they hated it, and they're never going to go back again because they were able to afford this thing that all the celebrities that they loved so much were doing, and they thought, oh, I can do this too, and then they were just like, oh, it's not that same for me at this level. I have to be at this level, and I can't reach that level. So they got a hard dose of reality and just like never going to do it again. The problem is that I hate people who say it's like, oh, everything's going up. That doesn't mean you have to fucking give it money. Yeah. You don't have to do that. You can sail the high seas. You can borrow things from your friends. You can do other stuff to get by. You don't have to pay for these VOD services and do all this other bullshit. Like
Nick,
Jeff
you
said,
could be like Nancy Reagan. You can just say no.
You can just say no, or change a channel, or whatever the fuck else the saying is, and just not have to pay as much for a lot of these things as you normally did because fuck all of this.
Yeah. Well, let me give Darian his button request right here. I think that's one of the early buttons, the Stormtrooper, right?
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, here he is, right here.
Did you see that guy accidentally hit that moose with his car?
No.
Holy shit. Jamie, pull that video up.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Yeah, Nick, somebody in the chat was talking about that Disney video, the one with you sent me the Instagram reel. The girl talking about, was it aspirational depression or whatever the fuck it was called?
Yeah. Aspirational, like aspirational, whatever. It's like, yeah, how to, because you see people like, it was a woman who paid $35,000 or something. No, yeah, well, it was a lot of money to go to Disney, and it was like a whole week or whatever of doing it. And she had paid, her and her family paid a lot, and she saw people like skipping lines because they paid extra. And it's like, I forget the term it was, like aspirational, like something or the other, but I think people are dealing with that, and they're still dealing with that. And
aspirational capitalism, right?
Aspirational capitalism, thank you. And I think millennials are dealing with that, and also Gen Z, because of just like the economy in general. It's like, oh, we want to be this thing, we want to do this stuff, we want to go, on these vacations and things like that, but somebody else is doing it better. We need to be at that level and achieve that thing. It's like, be happy where you are, or you know what? Better yet, don't take your kids to fucking Disneyland or Disney World. How about do that?
I guess I'm spoiled because I live by Kings Island. Dion's been to Kings Island. It's not Disney, but we have everything. Like, that park is awesome. It's got tons of rides.
Dude, I grew up next to Dollywood. It was the same shit. Like, we had the whole thing. It was great.
And rides are fun and shit. Don't get me wrong, but like, there's like literally nothing that these places offer that's $1,000 to do it for a day. You can get, like, if I'm going to spend $1,000 on something, I want a return forever. I want something like an event, an experience is not worth $1,000. Seriously, you name something in the chat, folks. You can't find something that I'd pay $1,000 for. Like, wouldn't you spend $1,000 to hang out with The Rock? No. Fuck no. That guy's almost a billionaire. What does he need $1,000?
Wait, no. Here's the thing. We talked about this before we went to our Astoria trip in June. There was a VIP party at the actual Goonies house that was $2,500. That is not, obviously that's not the price of the ticket for WrestleMania, but to go, okay, and mind you, it was like, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours. It was like from like 3 to 7 or something like that. It was just a few hours, but for $2,500. You could hang out with Robert Davi. I forget the guy's name now. Mouth and a couple of the
Corey
other
Feldman.
Corey Feldman. Yeah, they're like all the ones who were on stage doing that thing where we're also there, and they could be at the house and have drinks and talk to them and do the whole thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend $2,500 to hang out with Corey Feldman. You lost me there.
Yeah, but even that, like being in that house for that movie that happened 40 years ago and doing the whole thing. As diehard of a fan as I am, and we actually traveled there and walked around the town, even I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And that wasn't $3,800 for a fucking ticket at WrestleMania. That was like to go hang out for a few hours. I'm like, nah, that ain't worth it. So it's one of those things, man.
You think your generation has FOMO? I guess we're all millennials. We're not Gen Z. I don't have FOMO of anything. It's like, I've been to WrestleMania 18 times. There's literally nothing they can offer me that I'm not gonna. Oh man, I didn't spend $40,000. That's like a year.
Dude, even so, the Zoomers don't have the money for that shit. Even if they do have FOMO, so like, I don't know who they would be catering to.
Yeah, if you want to know what it's like to go to WrestleMania, we'll give you a whole rundown one day. You go there, you have fun. You see an epic show, or you see a show, okay? I've been to as many bad WrestleManias as I've been to good WrestleManias. Dion, WrestleMania 32 in Texas, wasn't that?
I was just about to say it. I was like, you better say WrestleMania 30. You and I were there. That main event got booed. Me, and
I almost
Dan
got into a fight with a woman, remember?
I thought it was 31.
No, that was 32. That lady was talking shit about Ric Flair, and I was not having it that day. I was like,
yeah,
nope.
you were like, shut the fuck up. And her boyfriend, shut the fuck up, you white knight.
Yeah, those guys backed down quick when you and Dan turned around. Because on the cue, I said, shut the fuck up, white knight, and you and Dan just go, whoop, and they are like, we're not going to start shit.
He's like, Ric Flair You were like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
He's not even my favorite, but I had to defend his honor.
But see, like,
hey, we got in that argument at the Michigan State tailgate too about that shit.
Those kids knew shit.
But see, like, things like that create memories. So I think that's more important than paying the money. But also, like, you didn't pay that much. You didn't pay that much to do those things, so it's a little bit better. Like, even like when I used to live next to Dollywood, we used to have like Severe County Day or like a local day, and all of us would get up as early in the morning and go there for the entire day. And whenever they got their water park, we'd go half day at the theme park and the other half at the water park, and we'd be fucking wiped out by the end of the day.
So you can get a half and half at Dollywood? That's awesome.
Yeah. Because there's a water park across the street, so we just do that after a little bit. But it was fun, and like, because you were a local, you got in for free for both parks. So the only thing you had to pay was like parking and whatever other bullshit they charged you. I know they upcharged you on like the fucking water bottles and the food, but that was the caveat. That was the thing you had to pay for.
I've been to one WrestleMania. The best part of that trip was everything to do with not being at WrestleMania.
That's how the most shows are. Like, of the 18 I've been to.
Yeah, like there is a myriad of highlights from that weekend. WrestleMania at the Dome, Superdome, was not one of them.
That was not a good WrestleMania. That's
you and Nick didn't leave early. That was hilarious.
That's true. When Brown Strongman got the kid from the crowd to be his tag partner, and we knew Rogaine Ramirez and Fork Laser was closing out the show, Nick and I started the trend of people leaving before the main event of Roman Reigns fighting.
We weren't the only ones.
Yeah. No, we weren't. And we got all the way back to the hotel, and that match hadn't even started yet because you guys had to sit through like 25 minutes of Daddy's telling a story. Be quiet. Tell him back when he was happy and you weren't here. So we walked all the way back. It was like multiple blocks, and that match hadn't even started yet. We were able to turn on the TV, pull up the network, I think was still the thing at the time, and watch that in the background while we ate food and drank and waited for everybody else to get done. And it's like, we're in the comfort of the hotel, and they are still in those seats like sardines because the WWE puts folding chairs on the floor and zip ties them together.
And both times I've gone with these guys, we've broken them and had to make some room for ourselves because we're not small dudes, So.
But listen to what they said. We had floor seats. We each spent $350 to sit on the floor. This wasn't that long ago. We had this show.
Yeah, I know.
It was 8 years ago. That's not that long ago.
Yeah, I remember asking you guys about doing the fucking drunken ghost tour, and you're like, let's fucking do it. And we did that, and that was a lot of fun too.
Oh, our tour guide with the umbrella?
Yep.
Yeah. Everything about that weekend was awesome except actually being at WrestleMania. That was like the low light. Everything else was great. Yeah, even falling asleep and almost crashing and being killed outside of Jackson, Mississippi at 5 a.m. was better of an experience than being at WrestleMania.
I will never forget the ridiculous amount of beer you brought. That was so fucking epic.
Which was better than WrestleMania. It took Dion and I and a luggage cart to get it all there from the parking lot.
Yeah, and mind you, the luggage cart was full from bottom to top. It wasn't just like, there was like halfway full. No, bottom to fucking top. Like they were locked in there, and they had to gingerly drag them and put them in the elevator and bring them into the room. It was fucking epic. It was just one of those things that I will forever remember. And you had to be there to just look at it, and then the awe of like this giant beer tower on wheels. It was wonderful.
Yeah, we got to go back to New Orleans as a group, just the four of us.
I'm
Yeah.
Dude, yes, that's going to be a family trip. I want everyone to go to New Orleans. And I know, Nick and I are trying to plan a New Year's thing, so we'll figure that shit out. But
you need to New Orleans for sure. I visit you every year for New Year's, Dion.
Exactly. Listen, you was already worst case scenario. You might just be like, "Oh God, I'm so glad you're here." All right, come on, hop in the car, leave your car here. We're doing the thing.
Well, if you're driving south, it would make no sense for me to drive 5 hours north and then drive south again. So you would come pick me up here.
You're putting way too much thought into it.
Anyway, it won't happen. We'll have prime rib and have a good New Year's. And
figure something out for sure.
Well, let's figure out that it's time for this episode to close out. It's been fun. I thought we were going to end an hour ago, but we always go long. Yeah. So, thank you everybody for watching. Folks, spread the word. Help this podcast get out there. We need to get these numbers up. People are always saying, how do you not have more listeners? I'd like to know the same answer. But instead of being surly about it, we'll just do something about it.
Just share our stuff if you love us so much. Just share our stuff. That's all we ask for. I know, that's it, man. That's it. Just share the stuff. Bookmark it. Give us a like. Give us a comment. Do all the things you're supposed to do, and that'll help us out. So,
give us your undivided attention for 3 hours a week.
Yeah, that's really it.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to close it out, but when we get off the air, I'm going to show you guys those new buttons I made. So until next time, folks, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.
.com.
You don't believe in the Force, do you?
I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force.